I was like, where's my screen? There it is. What's up, guys? As you can see, no levels on the screen, just because I think it's pretty obvious, honestly. We got the gap up. Good morning, Linwood. Good morning, Garden Trader. Good morning, Doohay. What's up? Good to see you. What's up, Susan? Good morning. If Tesla doesn't poop the open, it's going to be fire. Good morning, Tobias. I personally have AMD as a good side watch. If anybody wants a good side watch, I saw Grassfed go into the chat and post NVIDIA, which is like the same exact setup. So I actually think NVIDIA and AMD are two of the hottest charts today before the open. But we will be watching SPY, of course. But I would definitely have AMD on watch if you guys need like some secondary chart, to look at. AMD is a pretty big one. I actually need to add my bigger time frame levels really quick. I didn't have time this morning. Pretty sure that one just messed up. Let's try that again. Oh, I guess not. This. And this. 167.20. 153.75. That didn't help. Actually, I guess it did. Yeah, the AMD chart's a little weird today, but I really like this chart. Plus, the chain's not the worst. And then this chart, we're going to just have nothing on it, because we're waiting for the gap fib, which, as you can see from Thursday to Friday, this actually would have helped you out immensely. Not only because you're looking for and we talk about this scenario so much, the break, the ugliness of it, and then the retake of it. And then if you get a higher low of any of that mess, that's beautiful, because this is what we like to think as the specific buy the dip area to buy. And you'll actually see this on like even your larger time frame setups, like after your big dips and your big recoveries. Like, this is honestly how you should be approaching your charts, is looking for a base low, looking for a higher low of that base low, and then kind of looking for your signals from here, not really from the first time it's coming down to do this. So really big deal there. But as you can see, that was very helpful from Thursday to Friday's levels, and they hit all three fib extension targets, which again, that's not like the most significant gap, but it was still enough to need to mark that. So that's what we had. But coming back here, we'll be drawing that same fib here in a minute. Just waiting for the market to open in a little under 3 minutes. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. It's good to be back. Happy to be here. I got another pretty crazy week ahead of me, though. I got to take care of my dog because she's getting that surgery for, like, I think it's like getting like spaded or whatever. She's getting neutered. But yeah, she's going to be all like fucked up this week. Poor thing. It was a little depressing dropping her off. Hey, Bueller, if I've been using the trading with context and I've been hitting every single option play, no losses. Wait, what? No way. Damn, that's crazy. Good for you, dude. Honestly, that speaks more to you than it does anything you're learning or doing. I can't take credit because you genuinely are going through like just good methodical trading. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some genius for helping you. You're definitely doing the heavy lifting, dude. If you haven't had any losses since using that, like, I guess theoretical way of looking at things, I'm horrible with words. I don't know what to call it, but I mean, that honestly speaks more to you than it does me. Good shit, dude. No losses since trading with context. I think that deserves a round of applause, everybody. Because genuinely, and you could ask anybody in the chat too, anybody that knows what they're talking about at least. Trading with context is nice, but like you really do have to do the thinking. You have to do the heavy lifting. Like, it's not like it's a cheat code. You still have to do the work. So all credit goes to you, man. I'm very happy to hear that, though. That's super badass. Actually means a lot to me because I really just like that trading with context way of thinking. It's really easy. It's really simple. It doesn't really make sense at first. Like when you first start getting into it, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? But then you're like, oh, like once the pieces start like connecting, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. And then you could see like, wow, you could use this at any time on any chart, anywhere. Like it doesn't matter. That way of thinking, that strategy is just like super, super. I don't want to sound like I'm glazing it too hard, but it really is like pivotal. Like it could do kind of anything. It's just, can you know, what are your preferences? And that's another cool thing I like about it. It's like an aggressive ass trader could enjoy that strategy. A super passive trader could enjoy that strategy. It just kind of depends. What do they want to pick and choose, you know? The different retest types, the different entry types. Like, there's so many different things you can do. There's really only like 2 entry types, but we always like to sit here and break it down like there's so many, but it's really just like 2. So previous day close to today's open, that would be right there. Actually, I'm not even going to mark it. We're going to just leave it. We're going to leave it marked like that. So this is what our chart is telling us. I'm going to just leave the second target here. I don't like to ever sit here and be like, guys, we could go to 668 today. I don't like to do that. I do like to set the second one as most likely my high of day. If we start pumping again, I would be like, yeah, we're probably going to go to here at least. But this will be our first target, second target. That's what those dotted lines are. This is your median. I would say your most important levels are going to be this one right here. Because no shit, we just opened here. But this one here as well. I mean, really all 3 of these, but these 2 specifically. Because this one here is the median of this gap up, right? So they could use this to fall back down to. And remember what I just finished explaining at the beginning of the stream. The whole break and retake. Like, look how they acted on this gap up. It doesn't always have to just be, let's go straight up instantly. You know, sometimes you are going to pull back and you are going to experience breaking that halfway point. And you're going to be in a position where it's like, well, I could short from here to the previous day close, but it's just not that big of a move, right? You know, whereas this one, actually, I guess you could say it's the same damn thing. You really don't have that much room from your 50% to your previous day. So I don't know if I'd sit there and be like, that's feasible. You should short that. No, but it could be a good early signal. You know, if you start to see like lower highs from here, then you see a break of this. But you got to remember, we are on a gap up, not a gap down. So even when you get into the scenario in today's seat, I like to go over that as well because it is a little bit too unrealistic to say like, yeah, this works on every single gap up. Like, I like to say that it works on gap ups that are of notable size, which this one is all right, I guess. It's not the craziest. But what I'm trying to say is if you do get breaks to the 50%, yes, you are supposed to short towards the previous day close or previous day high, but I'm just saying it's not that much room, so it's not that feasible. You might want to just use it as an early signal today. So you actually have a lot of room for dip buyers today, and that's honestly exactly how they treated it the last time they did this. They did the whole let's pull back and let's get some discount buys here at the previous day close. Higher lows of the previous day close. Very simple, methodical. Let me zoom onto AMD here for a second. Why is this chart so hard to look at? Oh, I know why, because that's the pre-market. It just looks like shit. The trigger levels for AMD are this level and this level, but same conversation that I just had with you on SPY, you could see the room between your trigger level and your previous day close. It's not the craziest. And it's on an gap up, so you shouldn't be thinking about, where can I get discount shorts? You should be thinking about, where can you get discount buys if it pulls back? Until you see that final trigger where it's like, oh shit, this is pulling back. Like if we were to see today's open break, pre-market low break, and the previous day close break, and there were some good lower highs in between here from here to here, you would definitely be looking at this as like, okay, this is probably pulling back a little bit more. But you got to develop those signals. You got to collect those signals. It's not like they just pop out to you and you're like, oh, this is 100% bearish. You got to treat the gaps correctly. New here, where do I start learning about the context thinking? Great question by Invest with Jackson. Let's get that playlist. I was supposed to already have it up for you, honestly, Jackson, so that's kind of on me. But I'm running a little slow today. I got a lot of things in my mind, so I'm kind of all over the place. But I'll just send the link in the chat. Share, copy. I actually just made this for that exact reason. Because there's a lot of videos on my channel, and I completely get the complaints of like, I can't find what I need to watch. I get that. I get it. So I decided to make another playlist to make it a little bit easier. All good. Good luck with the pup. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. She's going to be fine. I'm just a pussy. Excuse my language. It's funny because she's probably like going to be totally fine when she gets back. It's the best thing. I've gotten really attached to this dog because it's like super, super playful. Like, have you ever had a dog that like gets its own? I mean, most dogs do this in my opinion, but most dogs get like a personality, and then they're not like the most entertaining dog, which they're not supposed to be. I'm not sitting here saying dogs need to be like a TV, but this one is. This one's genuinely like pretty fucking awesome. It'll play fetch. It does all kinds of shit. And you can train it things. It's super fucking smart. It's the golden retriever in that damn dog. Those golden retrievers are pretty fucking smart. And very playful. And she likes to swim, dude. I have not had a dog that likes water. Like, to swim in it. Like, I'm sure if I threw them all in a pool, they'd live, but this one craves getting into water. Eating mulch too. We had to put grass over all of the mulch in our backyard because the dog kept just running around and then go to the tree and get mulch, and it would come back, and we would let it because it was so happy getting that mulch to bring it back and start chewing on it. It was so happy. We didn't want to break it of that joy. So then we just put grass over the around the trees. That stopped it. All right, I'm off topic. It's 5 minutes into the open on a Monday. Let's get locked in. SPY is pulling back from today's open on the 5 minute so far. We could probably jump on the 1 minute because I know this is not going to be the greatest of signals on the 5 minute yet. We will jump right back to the 5 in a second. And we can see there is a break of the today's open. There's a close under. And we got a little bit of a new low being made. So technically on the 1 minute, you do have a breakdown by bears. But remember my conversation. The very first thing I covered in today's stream was liquidity grabs. So really look for your lower high confirmations first before you start shorting anything. That's just my personal opinion. If you have different comfortability, then fuck me. Go do whatever you want. But that is what you should be looking for, are lower highs, not just jumping on the first red candle breaking a level. Remember, caveman thinking will get you killed. That needs to be like our thing, man. I totally came up with the caveman thinking. Red candle break level. I know it sounds like I'm making fun of, like, cavemen. I mean, who cares, though? We outclassed the cavemen. We're here now. Top of the morning, Matty Ice. What is up, brother? You're up 146% on UPS? My brother. That is a number. That is a triple-digit number. Are you being greedy and holding, or are you going to take your profits? What was your plan? Honestly, whenever I'm up really big or down really big in a trade, I like to remind myself, what the hell did I plan before I got myself into this mess? And then remind yourself what you need to do and do it. And if you didn't have a plan beforehand, smack yourself on the head right now. I don't think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, actually. I don't think I'm allowed to incite violence. That wasn't... Yeah, we know. Took a 663 swing. That was cool. Sold it open. Jesus. I'm honestly glad, because I'm going to be honest with you with this message I posted. I didn't want to be that guy that was like... I'll just scroll up to it. I know y'all have already seen it because I posted it like 3 times because I'm just so proud of myself. But right here, I said... I don't want to show everything. Right here I said I would focus on long swings until we see the break of the hammer on the daily. And this is when I was not streaming, but I was definitely still posting. And I saw a lot of you guys doing a good job posting as well. But this hammer here, very obvious. It needs to break that to pull back more. The fact that we were building another hammer that day, I had posted that, on that hammer is crazy. So again, you should be focused on long swings since then. It was 658. What is the current price of SPY right now? 664. So, I mean, we've just been going up since that post. The reason I'm saying that is I'd focus on long swings until we see the break of that hammer on the daily, because I was just simply putting a friendly reminder in there. I don't want to come in here and fearmonger. If you're someone who is trying to short that, That's just my personal preference. That's how I see the chart. But don't ever look at that and be like, oh, fuck, I got to close my puts. I might be wrong. You could keep taking your play, but I'm just pointing from my personal opinion, okay? And you can see I zoomed in a little bit so you can see it because I didn't post my actual chart. I just posted the bullshit CD chart. Here's the bull stuff. Rocket Lab. Market gap fib, blah, 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 blah. And you can see me posting it again. But it's just important because basic stuff like that will help you stay on the right side of trend, right? The last couple days, it was literally just green days. Now, we didn't move up a bunch. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we broke all-time high already. No, I mean, we moved up to I think we're right here on this chart. We're not even at all-time high, but we're very, very close to it. So, just friendly reminders to help yourself kind of stay in the fight because it is easy to forget where the fuck are we on the chart whenever we've had 3 red days in a row, to this extent, where it feels like, oh, are we going to pull back now? Everybody, that's another big thing too. If you start seeing stuff like this, stay the fuck off social media. It amazes me how many people just flip bearish because they're like, oh, well, everybody else is bearish. And maybe they won't tell you and me that. By the way, a lower high has been made here on the 1 minute. AMD is just still pumping. That's good for AMD, I guess. Good moves, though. I'm not really really analysis to cover here, but I like this little in-between candle. This is that sandwich candle. So if we get some more buyers in the back end of this, I don't see why this shouldn't keep going. AMD. I'm also a little confused on SPY. Somebody needs to go through the weights for me real quick, or I need to. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Okay, so tech is up. Tech is up. We could probably check out Triple Q here in a second. Comms are up. They took a dip buy. Discretionary is up on a gap up, but they're trying to pull back from the open. Banks are down from the open and into the previous day close. That could be a big reason SPY is not jumping yet. Staples pull back, which is honestly a good sign for upside pressure in the market. When you see Staples pulling back, that could be a good pressure by the bulls to push up on tech. So watch your tech charts today. Healthcare pulling back still. That's probably not why SPY is doing great. Okay, so that's why. We figured it out already. There's a big sandwich on SPY right now. There's a lot of things selling and being bought. So you should probably switch to Triple Q and watch tech. Or to just an individual tech chart. Like I have AMD up here. Holy Apple, what are you doing, dude? I'm assuming NVIDIA and Tesla are doing the heavy lifting then. Yeah, NVIDIA and Tesla. That answers my question. Or not Tesla. What the hell am I saying? Microsoft. Why could I not remember Microsoft? Is she just that boring to me now? Do I just genuinely hate Microsoft that much? Okay, she's holding up. We're not going to say she's killing it, though. So I'm going to blame it on semiconductors. Semiconductors are definitely leading the tech leading tech. That's all I needed to say. So yeah, tech charts are kind of popping off right now. SPY's pulling back just because of a mixture of weights. I wouldn't say this is because of any one single sector. And see how I quickly did that? You guys got to be able to do that too. I mean, it's just going to your Excel charts. And if you guys need explanations on that, we can cover that a little bit more into the stream for anybody who might be newer here. But a lot of my older guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I go to those Excels. Because SPY is just a big pie. And those Excels are just the big slices of the pie. Some of the slices are a little bit bigger. Whoever cut them was greedy. Some of the slices of the pie are a lot smaller. But it's very important to look at that because you can kind of give you a collective view of what SPY could kind of look like. And in your head, you should definitely have red, green in your head. Just because of the weights. Not even having to go through the individual equities themselves. Also, who saw crypto this weekend? I know my boy Frankie posted that shit. Bitcoin over 110K again. Or 11K again, I guess. And I know I don't look at this chart a whole lot. But for my crypto boys, this is looking pretty good, honestly. This pullback was a little scary, but I was never that scared until we started seeing some buyers show up. Now we're seeing some higher lows build. So honestly, seeing buyer presence above 109K, above 110K is crazy. This could honestly be what helps it send up to 150K in the near term. That's crazy to say out loud. 150K. Say that 3 times fast. And good job by Grassfed. I like to highlight that I did point out her post just because that was a very good thing to look at this morning. I had AMD on watch for the exact same reason, but she had it up for the IB. But NVIDIA did great from that post. Good job, Woots, too. He is on fire in the trade floor. It's funny, too, because Woots is kind of taking, like, small, subtle posts from you guys as well as from his own analysis, and he's making bank. Like, he really is taking y'all's messages into consideration. I think that's very cool of him. I like it when the more humble / chill guys are winning, because it's like, okay, cool. I like pushing that message. Not trying to say every person winning in chat is humble, but I'm just saying it's kind of cool when people mention shit like that. Giving credit to some of the stuff they're reading, even if they were 100% of the reason they took that play, it's kind of cool to see that. Spy is retaking again, even with the lower high in the 1 minute. It has to be because of the semi-strength. They have to be pulling some of these weights up. NVIDIA's up 3% right now. You got AMD up 1.5%, basically. Over 1.5%. SPY did retake today's open. This can be seen as a liquidity grab. We are not done. Oh, no, that is a close of the 5 minute. So you got 5 more minutes on the 5 minute for your new look. See if you're still holding over this today's open or not. But this is already looking really good on the early side of things, if I have to say so. For buyers. Kind of a flip-flop from that lower high. They didn't even... It's funny because a lot of the time I see them, and I don't like to go over this too much because this is a little bit too micro, in my opinion. But you can literally go from your today's open to your 50%, and a lot of the time you have like another 50%. A lot of the time, and I'm not saying you should mark this, a lot of the time when you have your larger ranges like this, a lot of the time they don't make it down to this. They do stop in the middle of that range. So it's kind of funny that you could mark that out and see that. I'm not saying you should mark that out because I don't like to use that as a target a lot of the time, but that is something you could start to look at more. If you're someone who's kind of on the edge of trying to short something that's on a gap up, you could give yourself another 50% level and be like, okay, well, let's see if we break that at least or something. You know, maybe give yourself something else. Just because you are trying to short on a gap up. Like I said, all morning long, every time they've done this the past couple weeks, it has gone back up. So I would be more on the side of looking for a dip buy than I would be looking for where can I short this for $1. You know, it's like you're fighting for tinier trades on that. Fight for your bigger trades on the gap up. Very cool messages by Woots on the trade floor. Very, very cool. He's also posting a new play on the trade floor that he's looking at. He's looking at Etsy. Which actually, more of you might actually be able to trade Etsy with him. I know some of you guys can't trade Tesla and some of the more expensive coin plays with him, but he is looking at Etsy right now. Go take your own look and see what you can gather from that. Not a bad look here on SPY still. AMD, you're just on crack. I'll just keep you up on this right side chart. My bad for even zooming you out. I probably need to add a halfway point between here, let's be honest. Because that is just too far of a range. There we go. I don't feel as bad now. But to not disrespect AMD's rise, we will keep that further target on the top of my screen on the chart. Or on the screen at least, because that is already a massive start to the semiconductors. I keep checking NVIDIA right here too to see if it's going up more. It's still hovering around 3%, which honestly, that's crazy. That's already a lot. We'll see if this momentum continues, though. Also, I am sorry. I was a little late to post the news for the week this morning, so make sure you go check out that daily updates channel. I forgot to do that the other night. I normally do that on Sundays, not Monday morning. I didn't get to type it out as much as I wanted. If you're just now joining us, good morning. Good to see you all. Drop a like on the stream. I have yet to shut up since hitting start. Good morning, BB fam. What's up, Alexis? Good to see you, dude. Love seeing that name. Just listening in. I'm painting going down this... Wait, what? Oh, a little painting going down this morning. I was like, what are we saying? What is this ticker and why is it going down? Good to see you, though, Maddie. Always love seeing Maddie in here as well. Good morning and happy Monday. What's up, Sandollar? What's up, Uncle? Ready for Disney to end the chop and dive. Guys, keep Spy on watch real quick. I have to go look at Disney. Got to see what he means. I actually still like these higher lows a little bit, but if we do reject this, it's going to be a bad sign. I'm not really the biggest fan of Disney either, so I guess I'm cool for a pullback. So far, it doesn't look horrible, though. It looks like it's actually trying to pull up a little. I haven't drawn these levels in a while, though. I don't know what the EMAs are doing, but I'm assuming it's bouncing off the 918, the 21, or around the 21. I will keep that on watch, though, $10. Thank you for the mention. Let's put this back on the 1 minute just because it's still kind of early in the morning, and we're really making micro decisions around this today's open so far. You might have to just switch this to a larger time frame to stop yourself from losing out on all these little quick dip and rips. Just because, remember, we did kind of see that SPY did have a sandwich effect going on. There were a lot of weights battling each other. You could see energy pulling back. You could see healthcare not really helping us out. Staples pull back, which isn't the worst, but it's a good sign for tech to try and move up, which we saw some of that this morning. Banks will say they're flat, but they are not flat. They opened way the F up there. So banks are not doing too hot. Discretionary was trying to join in on some of the fight. This is your Tesla, Amazon, McDonald's, Nike, Home Depot sector. I'm over here trying to go through the sectors like Doctor Strange doing that little meme. I was like doing the thing where he sees a billion possibilities in front of him. Dude, tech, you are a literal beauty. And this is honestly the best tech chart you could probably watch alongside any individual weight you might be watching. I would personally watch this instead of Triple Q if you're going to watch like a tech chart, just because this is more what I like to call pure blood. It doesn't have a mix of weights in it like QQQ does. It is literally just 100% tech. Triple Q is regarded as tech. Yes, it is mostly tech, yes, but it does have a couple weights that in there that are not tech. Had this one thing on watch today too. See the same thing. Ooh. Get them candles to close under for... Oh, okay. You're just looking for that, okay. Not dead set. 664.76 is previous day, 50%. Need to get over that with a higher low for more upside. We're talking about SPY, right? My bad. I need to get back on that, actually. That is a level I didn't draw, but on here, just because I was genuinely just trying to make everyone focus on at least drawing this. And plus, it's kind of fun to do that. But let me draw that. Just because that's kind of like, you know, pretty important. I don't know why I care about the direction. It actually doesn't matter when you're drawing your PDCP. I do recommend drawing it the right direction, though, so you don't get in the habit of drawing fibs wrong when you do go to larger time frames. Because I've done that before. Oh, not the most... Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about... Okay. No, I like that you're doing that, actually. Because, real quick, I'll do that. I'll just draw all of them. Oh, good looks. 664.66. That. No. That was a brain tweezer for a second. It's funny because I actually, every time I see this kind of chart, I remind myself of that video. I'm like, you really could just draw a bunch of halfway points and make your day easier. Dude, what am I doing? So we got that one, and that one. I guess that's fine for now. Good looks, Carter. No, that was genius. Okay, holy. Can we make my chart not so hard to look at? There we go. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. There, that is a lot nicer looking. I agree with Carter. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Honestly, I was in such a hurry this morning when I sat down. I was like, all right, just draw the cat fib. Just draw the cat fib. Get it drawn. But no, that's a good, quick little method. You saw it took me a couple moments. And it's super effective, super easy. It's not rocket science. Very good mention. And thank you for saving the chart there for a second. I genuinely forgot about that. I cleared the chart. And I was like, all right, let's just do this. Good looks, though. That's very impactful charting, I'd have to say. And you could see, too, like, we've literally reacted that level 3 times, but I wouldn't have known that. Very good looks, Carter. Yeah, I like these, too, because you're kind of mixing in just super basic shit. We just have 50% levels and a gap up fib. That is literally it. I don't think we need to add anything else either. Like, for impactful levels, everything else would be like targets, but impactful levels, that's about it, probably. I'll probably keep that up until something changes, Carter. I don't see why we need to change it. Unless we get like a fucking huge just pump day today, I'll probably leave the levels like that. Or, I mean, a pullback. A pump, actually, I'd probably leave the levels the same. A pullback, I'd probably have to adjust today's, because we'd have a big 50% that we need to focus on. All right, well, I'm going to post that, because that's generally, I think that's dead set. Good looks. I wish AMD didn't pop off as hard as it did, too, because it was a good side watch for the chat, but I would have loved for that to have just chilled for a second for y'all. No chilling at all, though. After that sandwich candle, it was GG. Posted that in the chat just so we all have the same thing. Is there a second chart I can put up on this right side? I think AMD is chilling out now. Let's try to find one. Not coin. Okay, let's adjust this real quick. Damn, Tesla, what the hell? I am waiting for Netflix to be like $1,400 or something. That's going to happen eventually. Actually, I need to honestly be on the daily to see what I'm looking at on these, because I have no memory of where some of these are on the daily. Okay, Avgo's in a pretty important spot. That big gap up, it's resting above the 50%. So if you see a break of 330.90s, or even this day's low here, this could be a good potential short in the near term. I'm not saying today. I'm saying in the near term, if you see a break of this, that could be a good look. Oracle's at the same part of their chart at the 50% of their large gap up. They're actually headed to it. They're touching it right now. Whirlpool needs to pull up again. Baba looks like it's about to pull back down. Huge hammer on the daily on mini gap ups, but that's not like that's been the first time that's happened, so I don't know if I'd start shorting random hammers on a Chinese chart. Same goes for JD, even though I love shorting JD. We might have to look at that end of day. We need to remind ourselves to check JD end of day for a potential short. But I'm sure I'll find it on the scanner, which I will post that again today. I didn't do a great job of reposting that a lot last week, but the IB and the EMA scanner watch list, I'll make sure to post those more. Well, at least the IB watch list. I go through the scanner for the EMAs. Costco, what are you doing? That's some of those staple charts pulling back, by the way. Whenever I was looking at XLP and we saw that big pullback on that, and I was like, if that goes down, this is good for tech short term. This is actually one of those charts you could see. So it had a nice pullback. And I saw that on Home Depot. I saw that on a couple other ones, which I know those aren't all staples, but they are staple-like companies to look at. And a lot of them did experience pullbacks today. And Upstart, not doing great, even with interest rates being slashed a little bit. So that is an interesting one to look at. UPST normally does really good after those interest rate cuts, but might have been priced in already. Cleveland Cliffs, we love seeing that recovery. Still waiting to see if McDonald's wants to actually hold the 300 mark. They look like they are right now, but that could change in a week. So we're going to keep McDonald's on watch. Hood popping off. Can't wait to see Bull do that as well. Which, actually, speaking of Bull, they are doing that. I'm honestly really proud of anybody in the chat who's in this, because we've been talking about this for a pretty long time. There were honestly a couple motivations behind even seeing this stock. One is because one day one of you brought it up to me, and I was like, wait, Webull has a stock? And it was around like $9, $10 then. And we didn't get in it right then. We kind of waited. And then I saw someone that I actually trust talk about it. I repost him all the time on Twitter. He's the only person I saw talking about it. And I was like, all right, this is probably a good pick just because no one's talking about it yet. If you were to go onto Twitter right now and look up Bull, everyone is talking about it now. We were months ahead of this, and I'm honestly really proud of the... There's honestly a few of you who brought this up, so I'm really just proud of the group for finding this collectively. It's not like it was just like, oh, Bueller found this, he's a genius. Like, no, this is genuinely found from you guys. So really good job. Most of the people in the chat are in at this at like 11 something or 12 something or 13 something, so honestly, really good averages. Now you just got to be patient. See if we can get our moves. And yeah. But hopefully we see this do some moves like Hood in the future. As you all know, Hood has done very well. Oh yeah, I have that on my other watch list, Sanddollar. I've been watching that. I'll show you here. I've been giving it respect. Look, I put it in the best shit ever watch list for you. It has been popping off. We talked about this a while ago too, but it's literally just been going up the whole time. But this is a drone stock. Very cool. I don't think that many of these exist yet. Like, as a public company. Yeah, we went over Bitcoin already. Bitcoin on fire. And I mentioned you, Sandollar, because you did bring that up the other night. But yeah, drone stock, good find. And it's honestly still cheap if you look at like the actual larger time frame in the grand scheme of things. But I don't know if I'd start buying as a first-time buyer on this pump. But as you can see, the macro, it's definitely not even near it. It's not even, it's actually about halfway. But this is a crazy chart to look at. I like this pick because it's a weird one. It's drones. They've just been going up. They might not stop for a while. Who knows? We've seen stock picks in the past do this. Energy Transfer is literally the very first stock pick of this chat. 6 years ago, almost 7, and it's just been going up. Now, not a lot. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, it went from 0 to 1,000. No, but it did a really good job and pays dividends. UPS is another best shit ever watch list pick. I can't wait to see this finally break 82 and then liquidity grab back up. We'll see if that happens in my dream world or not. Fig is another crazy one by Sandollar. I like to always bring these stock picks back up just to kind of remind everybody why and what. This one's the next Adobe. Very, very cool, and it's already proven to be better than Adobe. Y'all know Lamb Weston, potatoes, PayPal. Largest payment processor market share, still to this day. Target, I thought it was crazy that it's even down here, so I wanted to keep it on watch. This is a Sandollar pick, I'm like 90% sure. The drone stock, and then NVT. So not a crazy watch list, but it's alright. I definitely like Fig, UPS, and Bull the most out of those three, though. And maybe Target as a close fourth. That's about it. SPY still kind of struggling with that level that we found from the daily time frame, that halfway point. They are still struggling with it, but not breaking today's open still. So a little bit of just a balancing of an open, not a real big significant move up or down after this after this gap up. A little bit of a slow start to this open. IWM, bet. Let me check it out. Are you on smaller time frame or bigger time frame? Assuming you're looking at smaller. Ooh, they're moving a lot this morning. That's all one 5-minute candle. BE Bloomin' Energy. That one kind of got me. I thought it was gonna be Bloomin' Onion. What are we looking at though here, Duhey? Feel free to share whatever you got. I might need to rechart that too. It has been a little bit since I've charted IWM. I don't know if I'd 100% trust the levels in front of us right now. Those are probably just basic emerging candles, I would assume. But you do have a breakdown of today's open, and we've already hit today's close, or previous day close. This is looking for a lower high to break the low. Kind of similar to our SPY chart right now. It's like it's trying to build that pullback candle, but we just haven't seen that new emerging low yet. That new, the new seller volume breaking through that low. I don't mind this open by SPY, I'm going to be honest. I know some people have probably already been like, oh, fuck this, I'm not watching this. If it's like this at 9 o'clock, I don't even want to look anymore. I get that thinking, but this could actually be setting up for a really, really good move. I'm going to pull the chain up on my other screen so I can have it ready. Come on, where are you at? Oh, it's got IWM up. And what do you guys trade the most? What would you guys say is your most traded ticker? And I'm talking about scalps. For your intraday time frame, smaller time frame trades, your quick scalps. What is the ticker you've probably traded the most, you think? If you had to say. No actual gun to your head scenario. The guys that want to power the AI data centers? Okay, BE. I should probably put that on the other one then. I think I'll put that up there with the ONDS. And I'll put this one down here because I don't even... I'll put target right under those two. Alright. Thank you, Sandollar. Actually, maybe I wasn't crazy to leave that up. There are levels there. And I think I'm going to take this one out of Carter's playbook. 245.31. Oh, I got that on the dot. $243.08. Just so it's the exact same chart as my SPY chart in terms of method, not... I mean, they're not going to be the exact same ever, but the method will at least be the same. Oh, and then I need to draw these. $240.51. Oh my god, I'm off by a cent. Delete that, and then let's see what it looks like. Let's just see what it looks like. This is a pretty significant gap, so I mean... Okay, yeah, we'll leave that. Alright. Well, now IWM is back to being trustworthy again. We can at least somewhat trust some of these levels. I think I'd more or less be looking at, is this higher low going to hold here? Because this is literally identical to what SPY just did Friday. This is the thing I went over at the beginning of today's stream. Oh my god, excuse me. Right here. Pulled back down after, I mean, somewhat of a move here. Not really that crazy. Just kind of went up to the first level. Pulled back down to the halfway point and the previous day close. Just kind of did some liquidity grab above it. Below and above it. Higher low appeared. Then they did their move. Which, I'm not lying. We're kind of getting that vibe here. Let's collect a bunch of liquidity. Let's see if we can move any direction. It feels like that on IWM for upside. SPY, I wouldn't say is 100% decided. They look like they're trying to go up. But it actually looks like they have pulled back enough on the small caps and held enough to give them that chance of getting that kind of move that we saw on Friday for SPY. I did not backtest IWM, so I don't know if they did the exact same thing, but I'm sure it's similar. Not a bad look, though. Good look on IWM, Duhey. Meta lately for me
and Triple Q. IB to OB on SPY 15. I believe it, honestly, with all this trading, all this back and forth. Let's see if Garden's right, though. It is an OB to IB. I mean, IB to OB. What the hell am I saying? It's a little bit lower than that candle. This would honestly be perfect. This goes in line with what I just said about SPY's Friday price action. So, yeah. I guess we'll just stick with the same trend as we talked about this morning. You should be looking for dip buys, not shorts yet. Which, that shouldn't have changed yet. We haven't had any significant pullback or break of any pivotal area yet. This is the open. They've held the higher low of the only pullback that was under the open. So, still seeing upside potential here on both charts, honestly. Maybe you are crazy, maybe you are not. No, I know I'm crazy. I am very crazy. What's up, though, Fipo? What's going on, man? Good to see you, dude. PayPal, of course, wants to party today. It is in the spot, though, man. You got to remind yourself. That's why I go through this pick so much, because in my head, PayPal is in a spot where it should be getting bought up. But yeah, nice little party for them so far. I'm seeing a few of those individual parties, though. We saw that on the Tesla chart. We saw it on NVIDIA. We saw it on AMD. Which, again, we had AMD up here for most of the morning so far, and it's honestly done God's work. It's holding a higher low above 162 now. It looks like it wants to go up more until we see a break of this. NVIDIA did its thing. I would kind of give them that same condition under their hammer. I would be looking for dip buys as long as that's holding. And then, of course, we had IWM up just because they also look pretty good. We'll see if all these dip buys and liquidity grabs hold. I'm not going to lie, the look looks really good. We'll see if the follow-through actually shows up, though. As we all know, that is the most important part. Life's going all right. It's going to be a boring week. Oh, you're not lying, dude. You're not lying. Polo will be missed. Yo, what's up, Letterbuck? Always good to see you, man. I've really been enjoying some of your posts in the chat, dude. I know you're not 100% always in the streams, but I love your posts in the chat, the Discord chat. Also, huge shout out to Username. I'm not joking, guys. If you have access to the swing trading channel in the lifetime section, you are missing out. Even if you're not taking some of the plays or following some of the plays or taking them on your own, there are some great analysis reviews in there that even myself have been looking at a ton. By Username, one of the oldest members in the chat. Not by age, I meant by, experience in the group. He's been here for, I think, all 6 years. If not 5. But he's been here for a while. Really, really good post by him. And he doesn't even have to do that. I don't message him and be like, hey, man, could you post some today? He's doing that all on his own. He's posting his own plays that he has passion in. And I'm in full support of that. But I also want to give him credit. I need to definitely go in there and make sure you're taking your look if you can. He is one of the better traders in the chat. I don't like to glaze people too much, but Username is definitely up there in terms of elite traders in the group. I would put him way above myself. Frick Marco. At least he's having fun, though. He is literally always streaming, and it's crazy how much he does his stuff. He'll do hours and hours of coaching, and then he plays, and then even after these streams, I'm sure he plays a little bit more. Sometimes he has the brazen mat. It's crazy how much he's on. He kind of needs that week, I think. Plus, who knows? He'll come back. He'll be locked in, refreshed. I'm excited for the return stream. But yeah, it'll be a weird week. I really don't watch anybody besides Polo. Sometimes I'll watch Flom, but I don't watch him to watch Flom. I like to watch Flom when he's co-hosting an event. I love watching like his like random commentary when he's going over the matches, but I can't stand watching him when he's just pugging though. It's not the same. I don't have like a pugger that I watch besides Polo. I literally watch no one besides him. If Grape would stream, I'd fucking watch him more, but he don't stream. He just does here and there. Fipo needs a vacation soon too. Fipo been grinding. You don't like the co-host? Fair enough. They are somewhat cringe sometimes, I won't lie. Yeah, I wish Grape would more, dude. I'd watch him more. Probably my favorite player outside of Polo, if you don't count Polo. I'm not gonna lie though, I really liked Fugi. I don't know if is Fugi gonna be on the next Brazen team. I don't think he is. My vacay gonna be end of year? Nice. Got it on TXN lightweight. Got in on TXN light for a 1-day swing targeting 190. TXN, that's a beautiful ticker. I love Texas Instruments. Not because it's Texas, dude. It's not because it has Texas in the name. Don't say that. That's not why I like it. I do like it though because it is kind of like an overlooked semiconductor. Like people really don't look at this. Like you'll hear me say it too sometimes. I'll be like, guys, look at it, Nvidia and AMD. I will not even mention the other stocks because AMD and Nvidia are the best. But TXN is one of the ones that will literally get a lot of those gains from those moves by AMD and Nvidia, and not a lot of people pay attention to it. Also, the devil in me has to know, where is the 50% for this gap? 190. Okay, I can instantly see why Alexis is targeting 190 now. I was like, where is he getting this level from? But that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, I like this a lot, actually. You might even see me post this later today. If this is still holding up very well, you might even see me post this. Good shit, though, Alexis. And good job on your... Honestly, I like your entry. It's a little early, but it's risky into the new week, and I like that. Because you should be expecting some sort of higher or lower open going into that next week. So I kind of like that risk. We'll see if it keeps going, but very good find, and I honestly love that setup. I like this little grind up it has. I like that it has that trigger of a 50% level right above it. So if it is going to keep going up, we have a reliable level for it to go bump its head on. Or, you know, push through. Damn, Bulls up 1.2%. Let's go. And guys, be sure to drop a like on the stream. I don't actually know if it helps or not, but drop a like on the stream. We have a goal of hitting like 20 likes per stream. So it's not like the craziest of goals. But we're right there, so just hit that like button and we'll get to it. Did I pin the watch list? I did. If there's anybody in here who's a little bit newer, or maybe you're someone who's been here for a long time and you're getting back and you need a refresher, there is a new playlist. It's not new. It's just new organized, I guess. But you should definitely check that out. It's got all the different posts and stuff. All the trading with context breakdowns. It's some of the more important key videos that I put together instead of just telling you to go look at the channel. Bit of a lazy response, so decided to put that together. And if you guys have anything you want me to look at or anything you have questions about regarding the system specifically, please feel free to ask or throw it out. If you have questions about other strategies, I don't know if I'm comfortable enough to answer them because, again, it's not really my focus. I think Fugi is off Brazen, but I'm not sure if he found a team or maybe he wants to take a break because of his illness. Yeah, I don't even blame him. But he was definitely like one of my other like kind of favorite players because he played on Mirage. He always plays B anchor. But if you ever watch him in a Brazen match, he does not just sit on B. This man like sniffs out where everyone's going. He's like a very active B anchor, and it is so fun to watch. Sometimes he pushes apps and he gets punished for it, but a lot of the time he would get like through that or he'd go through cat and he'd literally call the round. I'm not even going to bullshit too. that round that he got the ninja defuse in a 1v4 or 1v5 or whatever it was, in my head, I was like, this is possible. Like, before he even got to connector, I was like, he could literally do this. And then he just walks out there, defuse done. Like, what? No, Fugi's based. I love watching Fugi. I'm glazing a Counter-Strike roster. CLSK posted in trade floor. Bet I will go peek it right now, boss. Oi, what's up, lag? Good to see you, man. Morning Stinkies. I see your post. Let me check out CLSK. Oh, you're tagging me on the post here. Ooh. I might need to put Sandollar in Tobias channel and name it something. Because, dude, you have a lot of just, like, casual mention plays. You're like, yeah, I'm looking at this. And then it's like, yeah, it's up like 20% today. It's nothing big. Yeah, whatever. Good post, man. I like that you linked me to the context, too, because that is very nice. I am happy for you, though. Good shit. We like seeing Sandollar win. SPY is breaking down under the level again, guys. We'll see if we build a higher low here, or is this liquidity grab for a pullback to the 50% of the overnight move? Do I even have TXN on this watch list? I don't. Dude, I'm a hater. Put it up here. Who saw Rocket Lab, by the way? Who saw the news that came out? Dude, space industry is about to get so much more money. And don't get me wrong, I was like kind of proud that it was up like this, but I've been sitting here waiting for this to turn into something. Because this is a lot of consolidation. This is like big pullback, liquidity grab, because it looks like it's just, like in this point in time, probably looked like it was going to pull back, right? So you have a lot of liquidity building for downside, and then it gets brought back up. All that gets destroyed, and they've just been building higher lows since then. So this is another stock pick I could see doing really, really good from our... I mean, this is a very old pick. I'm not telling people to get in this now, but it is nice to go over it again. But I've been waiting for this to move from this area for a while now. And then probably my worst stock pick is this one, and it's coming back up too. Which, again, I've always just expressed you should never buy this unless it's under $3. You should never buy this over $3. Which is crazy to say out loud, because if you go to any old breakdowns, I'm talking about this stock at like $30, $40 a share. And we're sitting here talking about it 10 times less than that now. But that's probably my worst stock pick, and I still like it a lot. Just because I have put a lot of emphasis on this being like a really long-term pick. Like, I could see this not moving till 2030. But I really like the DDD sector. I think 3D printing will be insanely slept on when it finally comes out, because some of the initial hype has already died down. But I don't think people realize how much crazy use that's going to have in the future. Not just for space, but for all kinds of things. So I really like that potential for like a super long-term boring pick. But that is definitely my worst stock picks yet in terms of performance. Where's old Redfin at? Where's she at? Okay. Still just chilling. Not really going anywhere. This is another stock pick we had during COVID. Or after COVID, I should say, when the housing started to kind of stop getting worse, but I wouldn't really say recovering. This was a really good one. I still like it for long term too, just because this is one of the few companies that was literally warning people, hey, don't buy houses yet. But they're gone now. As you can see, the last day traded was 6:30. That is 3 months ago. Rest in peace, Redfin. I'll go back to IWM for Duhei. I think it's just like saying your name. So what happens with the government in the next 2 days, Bueller? I mean, there are rumors of a shutdown. We'll see if it actually happens or not. I don't think it's going to happen, but I could be fucking completely wrong. The last government shutdown lasted forever. If anybody remembers, that was in the beginning of COVID. We had a government shutdown for a majority of an entire year, which is wild. But I don't know if we'll have one to that extent, but we'll see. I have seen the picking up momentum for a potential government shutdown, but we'll see if it happens. I don't think it'll happen. I know a lot of times Trump did this in his first term too, but they always get to this like breaking point and then last second they do it. So I could see him pulling something out of the hat last second, but we'll see. I'll be honest, I'm not completely caught up with it, but I have been seeing that pick up a lot. Elon fired off a rocket while I was ordering tacos by the beach. Dude, that is a vibe. You're just watching a rocket go up into space, eating a taco by the beach. What a vibe. Oh, you saw the Falcon 9 in the sky last night? Damn, that's pretty cool. You actually got to like see it. I had a goober friend buy a house before interest rates. I'd rather wait like 5 years stacking more away paying extra. Yeah, oh yeah, it is kind of crazy getting a house. Then and now, honestly, like I try to tell people now, even now getting a house is kind of crazy. Everybody will have you think otherwise, though. They'll be like, oh my God, the market's recovering, dude. You're going to get such a good deal. Dude, people getting that new house right now are still crying. Like, dude, it is such a pain in the ass to get a new house or anything right now. Don't let anybody fool you. I added BBAI to the AI watch list. I have heard of that one before. You might have to catch me up on that, but I have heard of that. It's looking like a better risk-reward opportunity to buy more, pulling back. Maybe it's still Taco, though. Taco. It's Taco Tuesday. Every day's Tuesday. That's dope. I posted the whole video on the trade floor last night. Oh, you did? Did I not even see it? To be fair, I was kind of all over the place this morning when I was taking my dog to the place. Oh, you did? I literally looked at it. Oh, I didn't see the video. I just saw the picture. Hold up, I gotta watch this. Damn. He's not joking. I mean, he is literally like in the setting of I'm on a beach, I see a rocket. Why do we have two suns? Just kidding. One of those is a light. Why do we have the moon and the sun all in one picture? No, that's very cool, dude. Thank you for posting that. You know, I don't care what your politics are, dude. Rockets are freaking cool. I think going to space is like one of the coolest things ever. Can you believe there's people that don't believe we landed on the moon? Can you believe that? I might put them in the same circle as the flat earthers, which I don't even truly believe flat earthers exist. I just don't believe it. Throw a flat earther in here. I want to meet one. There's just no way. Have you ever seen Verstappen in the first Formula One driver who won with a... We could just sit here and watch Verstappen videos. I don't even know how to say his name correctly. I won't lie, I keep getting those random F1 Formula videos on my feed on YouTube, though. And sometimes I click on them. I'm like, damn, this is pretty tight. But that one keeps popping up on my feed where, like, there was a guy, his car was breaking down on, like, a turn. And, like, this guy had, like, a godlike reaction and, like, drove around him somehow while going, like, 1 billion miles an hour. I thought that was pretty impressive. That's like traders who watch charts on the tick charts. That's how I think of them, as like F1 Formula drivers. With no helmets, though. But yeah, that shit's pretty cool. Boo Ferrari. Wait, why boo Ferrari? I was able to see the ISS fly over yesterday evening. Damn. Did you get a picture? If you don't get a picture, people won't believe you. Just kidding. That's pretty cool, though. I have a telescope, but I can never use it because it's too bright here. I have to, like, go out where it's dark as hell and, like, set it up. Oh, by the way, what's up, Dr. J? I didn't say good morning to you when you said it. Good morning to you as well, good sir. As it is always a fine time when you are here. Use the worst science to fight bad science, i.e. by a level inputs, it's on the earth. If not level anywhere, then flat, then not flat. Basic logic. I mean, they're giving us basic arguments. I can't argue with that. Flat earthers never watched Cosmos Space-Time Odyssey, huh? I guess not. I guess they have no access to the internet as well. But then they'll just give you that argument, well, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. It's like, my brother in Christ, the astronauts that went there are back on Earth. That's very cool, though. I watched a video where it was like someone's, they were like, explain this, flat earthers, and it was a video of someone's like driveway, and they had one of those cameras on the front of their house, which I don't know why it was there. I thought it was a Ring camera, but it was literally on the front of their house. But it recorded like a whole year, and it followed the corner of the shadow, and it went in like a big circle, and it was like, explain this. But then the comments were all funny as hell. They were like, why is this guy recording and drawing a circle around a shadow for an entire year of footage? Impressive dedication. Alright, sorry, we're talking about all this crap because Spy's not moving. It's retaken and lost. Honestly, the control area that kind of decides direction, I'd say this is like the #1 key area to move away for single direction. And then I'd say this is probably your other one. So if they get to this point and they hold this, I'd still be looking for dip buys until you see this break. But even then, we talked about that. It's not like it's the craziest room underneath. Either way, though, we'll see what we get here on Spy. Just trying to give some sort of entertaining conversation while we watch this. Does anybody have a different chart to put up on the right? I could switch between IWM and something. Maybe AMD again. I don't know. They already kind of left the train station, though. They look like they're about to get bought back up again if NVIDIA gets another leg up. That level being stubborn, you're not lying, dude. I'm glad you found it, though, because I would have been sitting here like, why are we just fumbling today's open? But honestly, it feels a little bit more calculated when it's 2 levels, because it, like, if you look back, it's not like they're doing this, you know, like they're kind of doing this. They're kind of like getting smaller and 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 smaller. So I think that is something to look at, and that's why I'm still a little bit more bullish than bearish on today than I am bearish, just because of that. Because you are getting this increasing like squeeze. It's not like it's been like an opening squeeze where things are getting more volatile as things go. If anything, they're squeezing into a smaller corner. So I would like to think that this is still definitely way more bullish than bearish just because of that. But I'm grabbing at pins and needles here. I'm grabbing at straws. This was definitely a good morning to look at tech charts, though. Anybody in a tech chart over the weekend is probably smiling right now. And honestly, I cannot wait to post more swings, man. I've been wanting to stack up that list. I was so excited to make this little thing yesterday because I have like 2 different logs, but it doesn't make it easy to look at, so I had to retype it. But it was just so much more fun to like have this typed out because it kind of reminds myself like, all right, well, like we're doing good. Like the strat works. I just got to stick with it. Every play combined, including the losses, equal out to about a positive 35% trade. So we're definitely up a lot more than we're down, but now it's about just kind of continuing that momentum. So this is more of a reminder than anything, but... And then honestly, I wish I would have actually called this out. I traded it myself, but I didn't actually call it out because I was like, who the fuck's going to grab a meta put with me? Some of those are expensive. But then, of course, it drops $10 under the trigger level, so that's fine. But yeah, so hopefully we get some more plays like that. And I was also trying to follow the trend of like how much were these, and a lot of them were around like $100 or lower. I had one play over. So I'm trying to also keep it on like tickers that are mostly affordable. Plus, on some of these, I'm only grabbing like 3. I think on this one I only had 1. But most of these I had like 2 or 3. This one I had like 4. This one I wish I had like 600 contracts. But I only had like 1. These I had like 2. This I had 2. This I had 2. Yeah, so I'm kind of staying under like 3. Like 3 or 2 on most of these. You don't gotta break the bank to make money. FaZe, no fucking way. I saw the rumors the other day because he wasn't in prac with them. No. Oh my god, you're not even lying. I figured that would be the case. Because why would they do that to Jacob? He didn't even do that bad. Oh my god. End of an era. Still watching higher lows build up here on IWM and Spy Guys. We'll see if they continue or get any kind of move off of that higher low or not. There's already a farewell video. God, FaZe has no chill. Whoops. It's not even a 5-minute video. What the F? What kind of disrespect? 10 years and he gets 5 minutes? What? Bro, there better be like an hour-long breakdown or montage of him. Damn, the disrespect. The real FaZe rain. Oklo lift off. Oh, you're not kidding. You know, just for example's sake, I gotta know. Okay, it did touch it. It did touch the 50% before launching. It got up to the first target already. What does this look like on the daily? Oh, never mind. We're up in midair right now. Good find on I mean, not good find. You're always watching Okla, but good pick on that. Damn, I'm all sad now. I need to put my headphones on. Ow. One second, I'm watching something. Damn, Frozen was about to cry. Respect. Damn, Frozen's making me want to cry. Dude. This guy's almost breaking a tear. He is breaking a tear. Frozen's like, I finally got here and you leave. They did get an interview of Rob's. Higher low still holding on Spy. Sandollar's Oklo pick hit the first target. We'll see if it comes back down to 118 rest and gives us a better dip buy to go up to the moon. Not actually. Interviewing Jacob and not Rob's is crazy. I mean, he's like the only player to do that. Nobody stays on one team the whole damn time. Damn, that video is crazy good. Fair enough, though. I mean, bro's a gamer, made a bunch of money, now he has multiple kids. Like, he has literally broken the code. That guy is, like, dumb successful. I'm happy for him. That's crazy cool. Words I love. Took me 100% gains on the Okla weekly calls. Good shit, dude. Shares at 520%. Need to join your calls and double whammy that sucker. Just be careful, because I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but Sandollar doesn't, like, go in there and post, like, hey, I'm getting in this con. He just kind of, like, mentions, hey, Oklo. He has very subtle posts. But I think I think he does that mostly, though, because I don't think he wants to, like, scare somebody into just blindly following him. I think Sandollar would prefer to someone, like, kind of just, like, find their own signals on it, and if they happen to see him mention it, use him as, like, a side thing. Which I respect, because, you know, we all know how that feels. Higher lows still holding here on Spy. I don't see any reason to be bearish on this yet. Same for Oklo, if we're talking about both charts. Come on, give us some exciting moves. Give us a good little pop or something. Something to write home about. Correct. Thank you, Sandollar, for double confirming that. I just wanted to make sure, because I know a lot of, like, I know I go in there and do that, but not everyone needs to be doing that. I don't even care if it's the best trader in chat. We don't need to be doing that. But some good mentions would be helpful, though. If you guys happen to be getting in anything, you just mention it. You don't need to go in there and be like, all right, guys, I'm getting in this and this and this is my target, this is my stop loss. Like, do that for yourself. Don't put the pressure of providing for someone else on your shoulders. That's just pointless. These aren't your kids in this Discord. You provide for your children, not for random Discord people. Even though we all love each other in here, we don't need to be holding each other up like that. We could definitely hold each other up in a better way. Mentioning plays, positive reinforcement, result in review. You know, methodical stuff. Not sitting here pressuring each other. That's not good. Even if you think someone can take it, don't do it. I don't know what I want for breakfast. What should Lag get for breakfast, everybody? If you were Lag, what would you get? Lag normally has a pipe and a smoke and a waffle for breakfast. So if you guys could give him anything different, I'm sure it would be beneficial. Not just to him, but to our ozone. My bad. I didn't mean to fucking expose you like that, bro. I just put bro on blast. Hmm. How's everybody in the stream so far? If you haven't already, be sure to drop a thumbs up on the stream. Would highly appreciate it. I didn't even notice we were getting to near 10 o'clock already. But, you know, time flies when you're just ranging, consolidating your ass off. We did go over a bunch of other charts that actually did move. As you can see, though, SPY still sitting here trying to make its mind up. It is in a higher low on a gap up, so you have a higher probability that we get a move up eventually. But keep your eye out for the break of today's open again. I think another break of it would kind of be the end of our little run here, and you might see a little bit of a pullback. But we'll see. I could be 100% wrong in that. But that is what it looks like right now. If you guys have any other updates, feel free to share. Everything's always open here. If you guys have any questions, honestly, this would probably be a great time to do it because nothing's really doing anything. It's a great time to waste time going over whatever, something productive. So if you guys have any questions over anything from the strategies or anything like that, feel free to ask or just throw it out there. No question is a dumb question except the question you don't ask. Use breakfast money on same days. Oh, there you go. Yeah, and if you win, you could go get like a big grand slam or something. Monster and a Zen. Monster and a Zen. Not one or the other, but both. That's diabolical. I could understand the Zen maybe, but both? Man. Going to work sweating. You're like, why is it so hot in here? That was a good suggestion, using all the money for same days. That's pretty smart. I feel like you should go to... Are you trying to go somewhere, or is something that you could just buy really quick and then, like, take home or something? Because no bullshit, if you have a taco cabana near you, you should go get their breakfast tacos. Wolf? I've actually seen this ticker before. What are we looking at on Wolf, Sandollar? Oh, there is nothing to look at. It's pretty obvious what we're looking at. My bad. Explain, Sandollar. Why is this up 1,500%? Did Warren Buffett just, like, pipe invest into this? What the hell just happened? I'm scared to even click the news button. 1,500%. I mean, that's generational wealth being produced in front of us. What on green earth? You don't know yet? Oh, I'm going to look it up then. There's got to be something. Dude, a day ago, the Motley Fool posted something that says, could buying Wolf Speed today set you up for life? What kind of foreshadowing? You know, I want to put this article through the... What's that tool called? It's like the internet tool or the history tracker or something. What is the name of it? You can go back into the internet's history and find something that used to be there. The backwards time machine or something like that. Someone needs to do that on this article and see if this article was labeled exactly this 24 hours ago. I mean, bro, not even 24 hours ago. Bro posted that the other morning. Oh, it is a little over 24. Or almost 30. The Wayback Machine. Somebody needs to Wayback Machine this article and see if this is really what it said. Because that would be crazy. This is like some like inside knowledge, like, oh, let me just post an article and then afterwards I'll show everybody how genius I am. I mean, bro posted this at 4 in the morning on a Sunday. Bro had his freaking like ears on fire waiting to post that one. Oklo, you might think it's in the range, but I think it's a concentration. Oh wait, that's not it. Here we go. Oh, they're up due to a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which allows the company to significantly reduce its debt and interest payments, clearing a path to exit bankruptcy and providing financial runway for its silicon carbide growth strategy. Additional. So short term, not the greatest news, but long term could be good news. That would definitely be why they're up, though. That's like when people would be like, why is Boeing going up? Their plane just crashed. It's like, it's not about the plane crashing. You got to remember, when you're looking at stock charts, you're looking at future pricing. This isn't for September 29th. This is just for a whole quarter, 2 quarters, maybe even 3 quarters from now. Who knows? Very interesting, though. I'm going to take that off my screen now. Let's respect Hood for a second. They're kind of on a tear streak right now. You know, I can't even go into chat and be like, guys, my AMD triggers killed it today, because the trigger is this level. I mean, after 10 minutes, sure, but I don't know how anybody would have jumped on that without just guessing. The trigger worked, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, you guys should have caught that. It's not realistic. Oh, that's good to stretch. Thank you, by the way, Sandollar, for posting that. That was something. I don't know what, but it was something. What's up, though, guys? How's everyone in the stream? I need a vibe check. We're getting close to 10 o'clock. I need a vibe check. How's everyone doing? What are you guys looking at? Are you guys at work? Are you guys just chilling, having the day off? What's everyone doing? And how could I make your day worse? Did I see weed stocks? No, I didn't. Hey, man, I like to partake, but I don't watch that shit. What ticker should I be checking out? MJ, CGC, Tilray, or all of them? Or is there a different one I'm not aware of? Had to adjust my screen for that one? Yeah, I don't blame you. I just saw the 1500% and I knew I was opening up a can of worms. New high a day on AMD. They did hold trigger 162. You only looked at Tilray. I guess Trump posted something about benefits of CBD. Bro, that's going to piss me off if it's only about CBD. I could rant for hours on how dog shit our policies are for cannabis. We got a state in our country that is cool with people just doing illegal ass drugs that can kill you in a month. Oregon. But we don't have CBD and cannabis everywhere. Like, explain that shit to me. Our country doesn't give a shit. And any president who says they do is lying to you. I used to think weed was like a Democrat thing, but it's not, dude. Both of them don't care. It's crazy. No, that's pretty nuts, though. Let's see what the news is. Oh, wait, this is actually kind of big news, I think, if I'm reading this right. Cannabis stocks surge after Trump endorses cannabidiol, I can't read that one, for senior health care. Oh. Yeah, Cron is up 16%, ACB is up 29%, Tilray's up 40%, and weed is up 17%. Why isn't MJ mentioned? Is that not a ETF anymore? Oh, it is. This is the one you should be looking at. Do they pay dividends? I doubt it. Oh, they do. Okay. Just very tiny amount. This was like the one that was like a collective of them, though, from what I remember. And they're up 21% right now. Yeah, I don't know. I've stayed away from weed stocks for the past few years because when I first saw how they did, I was like, oh, wow, they're going to do great. And then they didn't hold up shit. And it's like, okay. And then you could just see where the policy was going with everything. It's just horrible. There's actually not a lot of benefit for owning weed stocks, which I hate to say that. Because I see it as a market that should be taken complete advantage of. We should be profiting from weed in every fucking state. I know it was like 2 or 3 years after Colorado got it legalized. They had like all these data sets come out and they were like, yeah, our state's doing better financially. Our school systems are being more well funded and this and that. It's like, wow, where's all this money coming from? It's almost like you should take advantage of your advantage. Like, I don't understand why we don't take advantage of that. There's so much money in that market for our country. And people think it's like, oh, it's just for potheads. Like, dude, Colorado funds their schools with that money. Like, imagine that with every state, where there's a street cleaning service, where there's a homeless service for people who literally, because that exists. That is literally in a couple states right now, not just California. I'd like to bag on California, but there's other states, also a Republican state, that are doing this. There's like feces and dead bodies and just needles all on the ground, and there's a service paid by our government to go and clean that shit up. It's crazy. I don't know why we don't take advantage of that more. Our country could be making a lot more money and putting a bigger dent into that deficit that we do not give a shit about, apparently. Our country likes to get onto you for not paying your debts, but then they don't pay their own. I just don't get that. If anything, they run from paying the deficit. They came out with Doge and fired a bunch of federal employees before they fixed anything. It's like, bruh. And things still aren't fixed. On a federal level. Trump endorsing that is a little late, but I respect it. Also, in his first term, I don't know why he didn't back that up. If he would have backed that in his first term, he would have probably been more popular in the initial voting. It wasn't looking too bright in the initial voting. I think most states' homeless policy is to send them to San Francisco. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. But I like to make that clear because I used to be in plumbing and I used to go into like kind of the craziest ghettos of Houston that I never even have seen in my life. And there were homeless people everywhere. And like, it really brings me back to that conversation when people are always bagging on California. It's like, dude, that's like in almost every major city. What are you talking about? That needs to be fixed in every state. Yes, it's probably the worst in California, but that's everywhere, dude. Go outside more. So I hate when I see people say that kind of stuff. It's like, dude, that's a problem everywhere. It needs to be fixed on a federal level. Weeds and ETF? Oh, okay, nice. I figured it was because I was like, that'd be too good to be true. That'd be a crazy take for a company. That's nice, though. We got like 2 easy to remember ones for that sector. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see that sector go up, but I just don't like putting too much time into looking at it anymore because it just isn't that beneficial for stock investment. There's just a lot better picks. There's so many different things you could be looking at. But very cool to see this popping up, not going to lie. Thank you for the update. Short the pop? I don't even know that, to be honest with you. I don't even want to sit there and be like, let's just short them into the ground again. Like, I really don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I know what I'm talking about in regards of the direction of the weed market. You know, I think the passion for it to go up, yes, it's there. So I think there's liquidity. But that doesn't always mean it's going to go up. So you could be looking at shorting it. Any short-term pops, but it'd be a little bit risky. Wolf again? Oh, wow. Did they limit down? Yeah, they're not moving. They did limit down. They sold off to the most they could. Which, fair enough. They just filed bankruptcy, and now they're going down. Man, you want to piss yourself off, just stare at Wolf all day. By the way, guys, thank you again. We hit the 20 like goal. I really do appreciate that. If you like the stream, please pat yourself on the back. I appreciate you, head to toe. Wolf again. Just reading that was already funny enough for me. Wolf again. I feel like today was a good stream so far. It's just the price action wasn't there. And I am sorry about that. It's not like I'm in control of it, but I do my best to entertain somewhat here on the stream to kind of keep things a little bit alive. I don't blame anybody for complaining about the market not, being crazy awesome on a Monday. We did gap up, but we didn't really get anything from it. We talked about this the past 3 days, though, kind of just expecting more upside until we see things change. So trend-wise, we are on the right side of history still. We'll see if that continues. Please watch on Stream Bueller. Watch what? Oh, Discord DM. I'm going to trust you because you said watch it on stream. What? What country is this man from? Hold up, guys. I gotta fix the audio. I don't know if I should show this on the stream. This guy is ignorant. I don't even know if I clicked the right thing.
Think about what you're saying.
Croissants. Croissants.
Oh, now that's a better guess.
Is that food?
Wait, I gotta refresh that.
Did France give America in 1886 as a symbol of friendship?
When was slavery abolished?
Where is this guy from? Where is this guy from? There's no way this guy is American.
Oh, that's so not
I'm
relevant
sorry
to any of this.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to every country that this man might be American. I really am.
Wait.
You think that's the gift from France?
The gift of freedom of slavery. I think they
gift
gifted
of
them.
freedom of
well,
Do you think
and
that's how slavery ended?
It's either
That's what France gave us? That's what this man thinks.
slavery.
France said end it?
They're like abolish all slavery right here.
Johnny, take a second and think about what you're saying.
Croissants. Croissants.
Oh,
Did
now
it.
that's
He
a
just
better
went from
guess.
freedom of slavery to croissants.
Is that food? Croissants, slavery, or New England?
What?
The whole city of New England?
No. The country. Like we give you Great
13
British.
colonies?
Great Britain.
Oh boy.
The Great
What?
Flag. We give you the whole country.
You know, it's
You
crazy.
think France?
No, bro. I need to investigate the comment section. Where are the comments? Here they are. Why is this so small? Every sentence is worse than before. Yeah, that is accurate. Yeah, education wasn't wasted on him. Great. Well done. Tell me you're American. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel so bad because, like, I promise you, any competent American would have said the Statue of Liberty very quickly. I'm impressed he knew what a croissant was at that point. Yeah, I didn't get this in history, and even I know the answer. Dude, facts. You don't learn this in school. You literally, like, you just learn it. I didn't know. What? Bro, he went from saying freedom of slavery to croissants. And then he went from croissants to New England, saying they gave us the... What? No, I'm actually dumbfounded. I promise you, any American in my stream right now is reading that or hearing that, and they're like, what the fuck did I just look at? What the hell did Bueller just put in our faces? Oh my god. I've had a lot of friends that are, like, not American. Like, a lot of British friends specifically. And a lot of the time, they always tell me, like, stereotypes of, like, Americans. And I hear that shit all the time. And I don't even blame them, dude. That is crazy what I just heard. I need to know where that man is from. What education system failed him? What state? That man has to be from one of the middle states. Like, in the middle of our country where there's, like, less than 1 million people. There's no way. Gotta be a red. It could be. Honestly, at this point, the red and blue are the same to me. It's purple. That's crazy. As an American, if I was in that room, I would have been pissed. I would have, like, tackled him, and then I would have answered the question correctly. Bro said freedom of slavery. That word choice was crazy. And then to jump to croissants. I mean, that might be more volatile than SPY going up 1,500% right now. By the way, SPY is losing control of 664.66. We have not broken today's open yet. But if we do break it on this next turn, on this next down pullback, whatever you want to call it, we will most likely see the test towards today's low, which not that crazy call out, which can lead to the 50% gap right here. So this is like a stepping stone. We start here, then you get here, then you get here. So we'll see if that happens or not. And the only reason we're saying that now is because you have built up liquidity to go up, and it failed. So a good bullish move failing can be turned into a bearish move. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to get this anomaly off the right side of my screen. Yeah, to getting UK from... Yeah, insane. Like, bro forgot the entire American Revolution. Bro's never been told a 1776 meme. That one's going to sit in my head all day now, FIPO. That one comment got me. It's like, tell me you're American without telling me you're American. Knowing that you're free, but not knowing how you got it. Also, I remember growing up in, like, the story of the Statue of Liberty being told, like, a lot. So I don't know how that missed him. But maybe that's just like a Southern thing. I don't know. I'm in the South and they taught that. So no excuses. No, you're good. You're good. I honestly love laughing at that kind of stuff because it is honestly amazing every time. It shouldn't amaze me. That's the point. Like, it shouldn't, but it does. I promise you, though, if anyone from my chat that's American was in that interview room, they're getting that question right 10 out of 10 times. I don't even think croissant would have been said. I'd love to look that up now. Did they even invent croissants? Okay, they did. Technically an Austrian guy invented it in France, if we're being accurate. I missed it. Where's the video? I'll send it to you. If I play that on stream again, I might have a Aneurysm. Why is it when I type in y'all's names on Discord, it like is so fucking hard to find y'all? Data J, there you are. Why did that take so long? I sent you the thing in DMs on Discord. Potential breakdown on SPY here, guys. This is a potential trade popping up on our screen. Yeah, Data J, good luck watching out without losing your sanity. And watch it to the end. The French gave us our definition of rudeness. Pardon my French. An Austrian also invented blood types. Oh, God. Are Austrians the original human? They're where everyone came from? That is crazy, though, because I swear there's, like, tons of things that a random Austrian goes to a different country and invents. What is with that? Her definition of rudeness. Pardon my French. It's funny that he said, I think what gets me is because, like, I am into, like, history. Which is probably weird, but whatever. I just find it interesting. But, like, there's this movie. It's called The Patriot. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. And in that movie, you can literally see a French guy helping him because the French helped us against the UK. In the 1700s, like, so how could they gift us the United States? Like, it just blows my mind. They helped us. They didn't gift it. And if anything, we helped them because back home they started winning their battles. I don't know. If you want to read some crazy stories about someone in history, dude, and I know a lot of weirdos are going to say this, but Julius Caesar had the craziest stories any one person could have lived. I mean, he has like 4 lifetimes worth of stories. I don't know how he did it. Pull back on SPY as intended, just because, again, seeing that bullish setup fail does turn into a bearish setup. That's one of the oldest sayings in my group. Good bull turn bear, good bear turn bull. A failed bullish setup turns into a good bearish setup. And we are approaching today's low already. You'd think it'd take a couple candles with today's pacing, but they're trying to do it all in one. I'll put my cursor over it so we see it. Oh. And we pretty much hit it. If you guys are in shorts, I would definitely be taking profits just because we don't know if we're going to keep going down or not, just because the pacing today is so shit. You could leave runners into 663 if you want. 50% of the gap up from previous day to today. That's the first setup I've actually seen that could actually have taken risk on. I think there were a couple moments in here where I really wanted to, but it was because of this failed high. I was like, I'll wait. I'm glad I waited. Dr. J is still speechless, yeah. New York City has a street named Lafayette because of French. Yeah, he's still in shock of what the hell he just watched. 15% with the paintbrush in hand. Damn. He's painting and trading. You should paint a tiny red candlestick on that person's wall. That clipped. Remnants of the man in the street interviews where they ask basics of. Oh, dude, no, I can't watch those videos. I can't. I'll crash out. No, those videos actually get to my core. They go ask, like, it's like street interviewers. They're asking, like, honestly, some of the most basic questions, like, is water wet? Or, like, if you were drenched If a bucket of water landed on you, would you get wet? And like 9 out of 10 people would be like, nah, it would miss me. Like the weirdest shit would be said. I can't watch those videos. Took it on paper, good rep. Honestly, good rep. Not the greatest to be shorting on an uptrend day, but when you do them, you got to be quick. Just because we both know we're going in the wrong direction. Name 3 continents. Mexico? Yeah, that kind of shit gets me. Think of how stupid the average person is and realize half of them are stupid. Oh, no, yeah. That one gets me, too. Which I don't like to look at people like that. You should never look at people and be like, oh, you're all stupid and I'm not. I'm smarter. Like, no. But when you see those moments, it's almost like, whoa. You should never trash on people, but seeing stuff like that, it amazes you. We make our jokes, but I don't think I'd ever like actually go out into the street and be like, oh, you're stupid. I'd be amazed that someone thinks Mexico's a continent. The shopping cart theory? What is that? So I'll the type it. No, you're good. I read through it, man. I probably type the most typos out of anybody in here combined. If you can't read through the mistake, you don't know what's going on. We are going to get that pullback under the low. We'll see if we make it down to that 50% all-in-one candle like we saw with that previous test down under the today's open break. It'd be an interesting change of pace. What's up? What's the TLDR and the shopping cart theory? Yeah. Most perceived stupid people are just ignorant. Yeah, I wouldn't look at them and be like, you're stupid. Like, they're probably just not aware. Probably just not paying attention. Unaware of it all. Which, I get that. I think we've all been in that moment where we just aren't listening or don't give a shit. Or unaware. Oh, that's an interesting theory. I never heard that before. What does that say about an area that has like a mix? Some grocery stores, like the carts are everywhere, and then some grocery stores, it's all cleaned up. If I go 2 or 3 streets down, I could find a grocery store that does that. Tylenol Americans. Whatever came of that anyway. I'm not like into it all, but like whatever happened with the Tylenol stuff. Did that get proven? Was Trump speaking out of his ass? What happened there? Because that's a pretty hot take. Plus, I also saw that it was taken out of context. I believe the original quote was, not good for older people or pregnant people. People who are pregnant. I don't think he was saying it was for literally everybody. Because I'll be honest, I didn't see him mention that at all. And then I went to the actual news release, and he said that whole thing. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. It's not as a hot take. Still kind of a hot take, but... Yeah. And yeah. Well, I meant hot take because he just pointed out Tylenol. Like, I don't think you should be taking all kinds of medicine when you're pregnant. I mean, I've never been pregnant before, but I'd have to assume there's a danger to it. So I do want to point that out, too, to anybody who thought that, because I originally thought that, too. I thought he literally said Tylenol will give you autism no matter who you are. Like, that's what it felt like he said. But then I went and I looked at the actual news release, and the whole sentence made way more sense. But I did stop paying attention after I saw that. Because I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'll be honest, I just want the Epstein file. I don't know why that can't be released. This isn't even tinfoil hat. Like, why can't that just be released? I don't think it got proven, but they wanted to sue Obama then. Yeah, that's pretty wild. There's so much going on that it's hard to keep track. Yeah, it really is. Like, it's so much going on, I just stopped paying attention. Like, until you guys mention it in stream, I don't even know. Like, I see some of the major headlines and some of that stuff released because, of course, we're watching the markets, but I'm not just sitting here prying on, like, every little piece of political news that comes out, because a lot of it is just political at the end of the day. Matty Ice. Bueller, my plumbing horror story. Redoing the shower drain and I spilled the whole bottle of purple primer on the basement floor. I wish you could see how far my jaw just dropped. No fucking way. Spilled the whole bottle of purple primer on the basement floor. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't even know what cleans that up. Like, I think you can pour gasoline on it and then rub up the gasoline, but then you have a room that smells like gas. Oh, I was on the ladder, you bumped it? Dude, that's like probably the worst can of anything you could drop in plumbing. I could tell you some crazy shit, Maddie. I had, you know, the yellow glue for CPVC? I've had that poured in my eye. I've had PVC glue poured in my eye. I've had the PVC glue that's meant for, like, if a pipe is wet, it's like dark blue and it's really thick. I've had that in my eye. And every single time you have to just let it sit in your eye because you have to let it dry and then you can peel it out of your eye. Primer though will literally make you go blind. I've never spilled a bottle of primer because I'm pretty sure if I did, the guy working with me would have beat my ass. You could spill anything, but you cannot spill primer. Damn, that sucks though. I'm sorry to hear that. Was the customer pissed? I mean, to be fair, wasn't it the basement floor? Like, who cares? Or is it like a basement he actually uses? I know in the north you guys actually use your basements more than down here. For the few people that have them down here. That is oh, it's your house. Okay, never mind. That still sucks, though. That was always my biggest fear, though, was, like, spilling something in a customer's house and then, like, them actually being pissed. Because you will run into a customer who just does not give a shit about your well-being and he just wants to torment you because you fucked up his house on accident. It's like, okay, dude. The only time I fell through a ceiling, though, the customer was the nicest human being on the planet. I fell into their fucking, like, daughter's room. I broke the TV under me. I fell on... It was, like, a really, really old, superly cheap TV, so it wasn't, like, the biggest of deals, but I felt like the biggest piece of shit ever. And this lady, she came up to me and, like, hugged me, and she was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And the whole time I was, like, shaking, because I was like, oh, my God, this customer is going to ream me. And they have every right. Like, they have every right to just torch me right there. But she wasn't. She was the nicest lady ever. And that was the last time I ever fell through a ceiling. But yeah, I remember being so scared of the customer coming to hurt me. Trump puts 100% tariff on movies that are made outside of the U.S. What? Wait, are we really putting tariffs on movies that aren't from here? I'm actually a huge fan of the movies that have been coming out of the Asia region. They've been producing some pretty fire zombie movies. I don't know if you guys are into that. That's crazy. Also, I think we can all agree, and I'm not even roasting Trump here, but why are we focused on taxing international movies? Shouldn't we be more focused on, like, things that matter? That's pretty crazy. And he's about to meet the Israeli president today. Yeah, and how do you tax that? That's pretty weird. I'd love to see that get maintained. I did see the Saudi wanting to buy EA, which I'm kind of cool with. I don't know why people are so hesitant against the Middle East buying out the gaming industry. All they've done is fund it to be better. Yes, some of the money isn't coming from the greatest of places, but then again, when does that... Like, how does that take effect on anything? You put it in off topic? Bet. I'll check it out. I'm honestly cool with the Middle East funding the gaming sector. I don't know why people are so pissed about that. It's oil money. It's this. It's that. Like, bro, what country has clean hands? Let them do something positive in this world. The Middle East wants to fund gaming, bro. Let them. Netanyahu and Trump meet to pressure the end of the war in Gaza as Israel grows increasingly isolated. I don't really have any opinions about the Israel-Palestine thing. I think all of it's just fucked up. CLSK again? Your again alerts are kind of on fire today. Wolf again. Clear sky again. Maybe they will unban my account. Damn, Maddie. I'm happy to hear you had your horror story, though. It is good to have one scare. I won't lie. I think the biggest horror story for me was like watching other people get injured. Like I saw like a plumber like on top of a ladder, and I couldn't really do anything to help him. But like bro was drilling something that was way heavier than him, and he like drilled into the stud, and it stopped, and it turned him. And instead of him falling off the ladder, he just held it, instead of just letting go of the tool. And he ended up like twisting his arm, and it broke twice. I saw that. That was pretty. It scarred me. And then I saw somebody lose a finger using the drain machine, like the tiny one too, not even the big one, to go into your shower. He did it, and he put his finger on it like an idiot, and it ripped his finger off. So the top of his finger was cut off. I had to take him to the hospital, and he just held blood in his hand the whole time. And then one time we got a car wreck. We were literally at a stoplight, and someone was going 55 miles an hour and hit us. But we had like this big steel bumper, so we didn't even get hurt. But they got sent to the hospital. They looked like they died. They didn't die, but it looked really bad when it first happened. I'm trying to think if there's anything worse than that. I think the finger one was probably the worst. Oh, no! What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Okay, so there was a new apprentice, right? And they were at this house doing a water heater. And I don't know what happened, but there's like these metal grates on the bottom of like older style water heaters. And he held it wrong. And when they dropped it down the ladder, and he was holding it still, it ended up ripping off the skin on his entire hand, and it like ripped out the flesh of like 2 of his fingers. And so he was like actually like bleeding out, and they had to like call the ambulance and shit. It was pretty crazy. Well, we got there and there was blood everywhere, so I was cleaning blood for like an hour. But yeah, that was pretty bad. I had to breathe in after I said that. Just remind myself I'm alive. Ah, we're good. But yeah, some of those are very disgusting. On top of that, the shower drain fell right on the floor joist. I wasn't well. Oh. Is he the Matty Ice Gaming on Twitch? I fucking wish. No, our Matty Ice is cooler. Our Matty Ice has like a green thumb, trades, kind of does a bit of everything. I can't just sit here and be like, he's like a carpenter, he's a painter, he kind of does everything. Kind of like an all-around handyman with a green thumb. Y'all should see the garden he takes care of. Matty Ice has like a crazy, crazy garden he takes care of. In the Air Force, they showed the maintainers a video on what happens when you service aircraft tires with the wrong hose. 3,000 PSI. No fucking way. They actually just showed y'all that? Dude turned into spaghetti. I'm trying to picture this. Maybe I shouldn't. With the wrong hose, 3,000 PSI, dude turned into spaghetti. I won't lie, I would be a little worried when I was walking on the tarmac at fuck, what is that Houston airport? Bush? I think it's Bush I'm thinking of. But we'd be on the tarmac, and I was walking right next to the big, like, planes and shit, and I was like, man, what would it take for me to get sucked into that thing? Like, it was kind of scary thinking about it when you were walking near them. And the plane's, like, on and everything. They gotta drill safety into us. Tires rated for 380 PSI at most. Oh my god. I don't even want to picture this now. I began to, and now I want to turn back. I want. He's like, lag to death. Send me your training footage. The military is just using like best gore to like pull that up. That's fucked up. FIPO wants the torture. I'm sure Lag would send it to you if he had it. I'm sure he would. I don't think he'd have any issues. What a crazy thing to watch, too. Like, all right, guys, let's get into some training videos. Fair enough, though. I guess they do gotta, like, kind of set the tone. Like, all right, guys, take this shit serious. Military is fun for some people because you don't have to think. True. I will always remember the Malcolm in the Middle episode where that one kid went to, like, boot camp. And because he was an idiot and he always turned his brain off, he became the best soldier because he was, like, just focused on the task ahead. Like, it was kind of funny. But it did kind of speak volumes. He just turned his head off and he became, like, the best soldier. Yeah, Reese went to boot camp, bro. Those are literally... That was, like, the best... I think it was, like, 2 episodes or a few where it was, like, the hardcore episodes. But there was a lot. Yeah, Reese and Malcolm in the Middle was, like, kind of based. It wasn't just one. They showed what happens when you don't use safety pins during ops check. Oh, God. That was 4 years ago. I don't got it. Well, fair enough. Well, what happens when you don't use safety pins during an operations check? I'm assuming that's what ops means. What does happen to someone? Man, being turned into spaghetti and then you're used as, like, training footage for other people. The landing gear pulled back. It was when they were testing it and the dude got squished in the plane. Alright, I'm going to focus on Spy again. Well, it looks like the shorts have done a good job of continuously going down. I like this little bit of a leg on top to kind of give us that continuation signal that it is most likely going to get us that 50%, which we almost got it right there anyway, but I don't like to grab at straws. I like to actually go hit it. Close, though. I put that on the wrong channel. Jesus, I'm just going to repaste it. President of the United States meets with Donald Trump. Yeah, something big's about to happen in that Israel meeting. Because they're stating time and time again that they're losing all their allies and that the U.S. is getting impatient with Israel. I don't know what's about to happen, bro. There's something big about to happen over there. At the end of the day, I hope most of the people, I mean, they're probably not, but I hope they get out of danger, man. That's fucked. There are a lot of people over there right now. In both Gaza and in Israel. There's so many people. I'm not even religious. There's a lot of religious ties over there, too. I mean, as everyone knows. That's just bad, man. In the engine, volume on the 15-minute going up, we might see the 0.5 test. Volume on the 15-minute going up, we might see the 0.5 test. Okay. I had to read that twice. But not because of you. It's because of me. My payment processor wasn't going on. My short signal's done. If you took shorts from me posting it, you should be out. We're done here. If anybody's holding runners, that's on you. I'm not going to sit here and take credit for it. I'm not going to sit here and pressure someone to keep holding this. Anybody that did follow that short signal, though, we are fully out. I'm out. I saw Linwood get out. I saw, what's his name, get out. Maddie. I don't know why I said what's his name. It's because I wanted to say Carter, and then I was like, wait, I don't think that's right. Crazy how much better my trades are getting when I read up on volume. I mean, you don't even see me use it, and I end up with a lot of high probability situations. And I always tell people this, like, if you end up using it, like, you should be finding even better probability situations than me, because I'm not even going to be pointing that out. I'm purely going off of what happened, what am I looking at now, like, just basic context. But I always tell people that, though, if you're using volume still, like, more power to you. It's not going to ruin your chances. If anything, it might increase them. I just don't like the visual display. It's a personal preference. It's not like a, oh, this sucks. No, it's fine. I'm happy to hear that, though, Lag. I am happy to hear that. And make sure you guys are posting your reviews in the chat. I do my best to try to reply to most of them, some of them. But make sure you go into the results and review and you are posting your trades, guys. Even if it's just a paper trade or a mental rep, it's still good to at least get it posted in there so you kind of have it, written down, posted. I always find that to be the best form of memorization is actually doing it yourself. I'm a slow learner, so I can't do flashcards. But it is nice to actually do it yourself, and then once you do it, it's a little bit more easy to remember that action or whatever you were doing, and even think about some of the details within it. Honestly, I'm kind of proud of that play. It only took 2 candles, and if anybody did keep holding, you did get a further test, even though it is slowing down now. But quote-wise, I'm sure it was pretty similar. But no, I'm proud of that. Denny's. Oh, I forgot you got that patty melt. Yeah, how was that? Denny's patty melt's so good. How much was that? What's the tariffs on the patty melt looking like? $14. I haven't been to Denny's in a while. Lagdo's 60 milligrams Zens. 60 milligram. Gotta run like 3 miles later? Dear God. Oh, to get the patty melt out of you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta stay fit, Lag. We might need you, man. Somebody invade this country, bro. Who do you think I'm calling? I need you to be fit, dude. I need to know that you can get over here with your weapons and everything and get me the hell out of here. He said not me. Hey, man, at least you were honest. No bullshit. If something ever happens to this country, we all need to just go to Wacko Jacko's house in the bottom left of Canada. He's a little higher up than the bottom left. That's where we need to go. We'll just go live with Jacko and we'll all work in his, It's not really a mechanic shop anymore. It's kind of like everything. He sells parts, too. We could just all work for him. It's cold over there. I'd probably die. Oh, Lag, I meant to tell you, bro. Do you remember we were talking about the weather here? And I was talking about how, like, I was so amazed by 89 degrees. Like, it felt cold to me. Like, it felt cool to me. Not cold, but, like, cooler. Just because, like, I'm only telling him because he lives in the other state that's basically just a desert. But, bro, it was 79 degrees or 80. It was like 79 or 80 or 85. I can't remember. And I shit you not. I was like, Mom, what's the temperature out here? It's got to be like 70 degrees flat, huh? Like pushing towards 60s, right? She pulls up her phone and it's like, nah, it's 79. I'm like, what? I was mind blown. I had a 79 degree day yesterday there for like 2 hours, and it literally felt like it was 60 degrees. I shit you not, dude. Moving. Oh, wait, yeah. Why am I saying Wacko? We should just go to the Netherlands. We'll just all fly over to Tobias. We'll make him fly us out in first class. You got 2 years left on your contract after that GL? GL. Oh, after that, good luck. He's telling me good luck. I'm moving in with Tobias. Yeah, it was 67 in the morning, but it felt like 80. Dude, that's fucked. I swear one of my brain cells were like, yo, you need a long sleeve shirt. Like, something was telling me that. It was like 79 degrees. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Bro, people in other states just don't get it, man. Even just a 5-degree drop is like heaven. What's another hot-ass state in this country? We got Texas. We got Arizona. We got New Mexico. These are all no shits. What is a not as obvious hot state? Probably like Oklahoma. Louisiana, maybe. Florida, of course, but that's like no duh. I knew the weather was changing because my girlfriend got instantly sick. That's it. It is a good signal. It is a good sign, though, the weather is changing, though, like that. Especially when you live in, like, just the cold or just the hot, and then you experience that small change in weather. Like, I know so many people down here that can smell the rain coming before it happens. They're like, oh, it's going to rain. And then, like, 3 hours go by and it starts raining. Because they can smell it in the air. California? Oh, yeah, California is pretty fucking hot. I remember in this plumbing class, they were, like, asking us about what is, like, an aquifer that exists in the country that could do this or that, blah, blah, blah. And we basically had to isolate it to saying there were, like, 3 in California. And someone spits out, they're like, Death Valley. Like, what valley produces its own aquifers or something like that? He's like, Death Valley. The whole fucking class was laughing. And then he got sent out. But he didn't care. He was like 68 years old. He didn't give an ass. He didn't give anything. He didn't give a single shit. Actually, he was like 58, not 68. 58. Wolf again? You mean Wolf again? Oh my lord. Bankruptcy. Pullback. Limit down, pullback. I'd like to point out these are both limit down candles, meaning once they closed, they were done. They calculated out how many sells happened, which I don't blame them. And now they're back to square one. Imagine selling down here, and then you see it jump back up again. You start to sell again. Oh, God. We got any frantic wolf investors in here? I highly doubt it, but thought I'd ask. She was literally kissing me and drinking from my water, asking how I'm not getting sick, and I said, because I don't want to. Because I don't want to be sick. Did you meet your girlfriend before or after the Air Force? I'm assuming during. If I had to guess, I would say during. He probably used his Air Force swag. The Air Force Riz. Deering? I called it. She still has 1 year? Wait, what is she in? Is she in the Air Force too? I have no Riz. I just exist. Supply? Damn, that's cool. I have no Riz. I just exist. Nice, dude. I'm happy for you. I only said Deering because I felt like that's probably where your Riz was most peak. We'll see if this continues. I do believe this hitting the 50% of the overnight gap is already good enough for anybody who is shorting short term. If you're looking for something more, you need that purple level there, 663.06. You need that to break. I know that sounds obvious, but I just had to say it. That is the halfway point of the gap up. She kind of just found me when we were hanging out at a food truck event, and she said, she was like, I was the one. What the hell? I like this one. Wow, so she rizzed you. Hey, maybe you're right. You do have no Riz. Well, good for her. I'm the prize. Lag's like, I gotta make sure we get this right so he knows I was the one that was chosen. I'm the special fruit. You're the prize. That's funny. That's actually really cool. always picture Lag as this like NBA heightened person. I don't know why. Like you're like an NBA player to me. In my head, I don't know why. I think it's just because you said Air Force, so I just automatically picture people in the Air Force as like somewhat athletic. But that's how I picture Lag to death. He's like Larry Bird in my head. It's the confidence, yeah. It's actually funny you say that because I was in like I used to work in plumbing, but there was this guy that was there next door. There was a guy on the other side of us. We're in this like big thing, and like people own different garages for like the trucks, but it didn't matter. On one side there was a guy from the Army. On one side there's a guy from the Marines, and then the guy that was with us was from the Air Force, and they did not shut up every day. I mean, every day they were just like making some pretty funny jokes. I won't lie, and I honestly can't even remember any of them, but like I remember each one of them being kind of funny. But yeah, it was like an endless like war between those three. I won't lie though, I think it'd be best to probably be in the Air Force because you get like the smarts, the training, and you get to look cool. Whereas the other ones only get to do like 2 of those 3. I'm not hating on Marines either. Like, don't fuck with the Marine. But I don't know, the Air Force sounded cool. You had some one-liners too. I'm sure you did. They treat me like the toaster. They only notice when the bread is up. That sounds like... Oh, my God. They treat me like the toaster. They only notice when the bread is up. Oh, my God. It's cheesy, but it's pretty good. When the bread is up. That's perfect. Of course. Is TTD up 4% right now? Oh my God. That was the contract we were in. I mean, we made like... Actually, no, I think we lost on that. Yeah, I lost on that play because I cut it too early. God, I'm such a pussy. I even gave myself time to hold it and I didn't. God, I'm a grade A puss. A psychic don't know the future. To live life, your kids might just close your computer. First win of the week, well played. Thank you. Tobias posted his votes, by the way, over the weekend. And he did one of them, and he did good on at Carnival. Shout out to me. Shout out to Tobias. Shout out to D-Tut. Shout out to SZY Guy. Shout out to Letterbuck, Nard, Frankie, and Garden. We all successfully voted on that. To be fair, I just voted no on like 9 of them and like yes on 1 of them. I'm like a corn dog. They only want the meat when I got the bread. Oh my God. I'm like a corn, bro. That's pretty good though too. Oh, your boy Darian said that. That's... Thank you for the live stream. Time to take a walk on the beach and then grab breakfast. Almost 9 a.m. here. Dude, thank you, Sandolar, for all the extra updates, plays, analysis, everything, really. I just really enjoy your presence. We just like Sandolar. Thank you again, though, bro. Love you. Thank you for being here again. Shout out to Sandolar. Did anyone take the TTD swing with me last week? We cut it for 19%, but that fucker's up like 20% now. I'm not really mad about it. I'm just happy the play worked out. But it just hurts because I actually held through all the bullshit. And now it does this. Even down. Oh, because of lift, yeah. Which lift was honestly a blessing. But that honestly was just like following the... It just followed the strat perfectly. It didn't really... Like, that's how every play's supposed to work out. You're supposed to make like 20, 30, 40% the next day. On TTD, though, and that's why I bought extra time on TTD, I knew we were going to probably have to hold. And I did a good job of holding through a lot of this junk. We just didn't hold it long enough, apparently. So I'm not mad about it. I'm just more or less like, damn, I need to reflect. I just need to hold. Like, I don't know why I didn't. I think I cut it because my downside plays were doing good. And I was like, all right, let me cut those so we have profitable plays. And then on this one, if I cut it now, I won't have a big loss. So, and I'm honestly the worst about that. And you'll see me do that a lot. I'm trying to get better about it. But I always, like, change my trade outcome based on how my other plays are doing. Like, I had 3 swings live, so you got to think about it from my point of view. Like, I'm posting 3 swings for everybody in premium and in the basic part of the chat, and all of them are doing good except one. And I'm like, man, I could just take all of them off the plate. So in my head, I'm clearing the slate. I'm starting over, but we're up. But in reality, I'm damaging a better outcome because I could be getting those 2 winners and then holding the one that I've been trying to hold through for a while and try to see if I can turn it into a winner, because it's not like it held a stop loss. It never broke my stop loss and held it. So it's like, why am I cutting that? I'm only cutting it because of the other plays that I was in. I was in too many swings at once. So that's all that comes down to. And I think that's why I'm mad about it. It's not necessarily, oh, why did it go without me? It's like, no, it didn't really go without me. I literally ditched it. I ditched TTD, not the other way around. So I don't know. It's a hard thing to remember, too, when you're in the moment. Like, you can sit there and tell yourself 100 times, but doing it in the moment, it's, like, a pain in the ass. But that is something that is, like, my struggle right now, is that. But it's not that big of a struggle, as you can tell. But it is something I want to better on. But, yeah, so that's me. All those winners, and it's like, I probably could have had more winners if I actually decided to, like, focus on the individual play itself, not comparing it to the other plays and what I can do with my overall outcome for the chat. Because I'm sure there's someone who was in TTD that cut it because of me. When in reality, they could have still been holding to today because there was no reason to cut it yet. And that's another big thing, too. Like, if you're going to take those plays with me, like, either stick with the stop loss I'm posting or just stick with what I'm saying. Like, don't go in there and be like, hey, Bueller, I'm cutting this because it didn't open up 100% today. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Just don't tell me. Don't tag me. I don't care what you did. I care what you do when you follow it the right way. I don't care about what you do when you're posting random anomaly updates, you know? Like, hey, I'm going to do this with something you posted. It's like, dude, you're just fear-mongering me. I don't do that to you. Why would you do it to me? I'm not saying anyone in here did that. I'm just saying that does pop up here and there. I wouldn't join in on your play and then start, like, obliterating everything and be like, dude, it's looking bad, man. Looking shit. Like, dude, you're literally making me want to just cut this and never post again. So don't pressure each other in that sense, but it is something that I have to work on, too, whenever I'm doing multiple swings at once, because I genuinely don't care what people think, but I do care about my own results and my outcomes. And it's not really about looking good. It's just like, I know my strategies work, so I want them to work. You know, it's that kind of, it's more passion than anything. But that is the one thing I have to think about more when I'm doing my swings for the chat is managing the outcomes of them. Like, just because 2 of them are doing good, one's doing bad, doesn't mean I should clean the slate just so I can have an overall good outcome. I should try my best to get the best outcome. But I'm also trying my best to keep, if you guys noticed, I'm trying my best to keep the losses a lot smaller. Because, and I did a good job so far. Like, that's 26%, but it's like $25. This was actually our biggest loss, money and percentage-wise. But besides that, I'm genuinely trying to keep it on the smaller side. Like right here, that wasn't that bad. And I honestly thought that was going to fuck us worse, but we actually did pretty good holding it that next morning. And that's another big thing that I've gotten better at that other people need to work on that do take some of the swings is not closing in the first 5 minutes of the next day. Unless we're just up so much that we didn't have it planned. Or down so much that we didn't have it planned. You know, it's like some unseeable gap has to happen for us to be closing in the first 5 minutes. And if you are going to watch those trades, you shouldn't even be on the 5-minute chart. You should be on the daily time frame. That's what you should be focused on because that's what we're trading it on. And you could apply that same concept to any type of trade you're taking. If you're scalping on the 1 or 5 minute, why are you jumping out to the weekly to reconfirm something? Like, you already have it set. Focus on it. And if you didn't, then you shouldn't be trading it yet. But, of course, that's logical, but we don't always do the logical because sometimes we're not thinking or we're caught up in whatever we're looking at. Like I said, in the moment, it's hard to do. Ooh, good post by username in the Lifetime group if you guys have that access. He just posted BLNK. Nothing was possible. Do this shit together. We unstoppable. Wrote this down on scraps of paper. We'll see if this trend changes. Do we hold the 50% and bounce back up? Or are we going to continue breaking this and work our way down to the previous day session? And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. We are kind of getting towards the end of the stream today, but if you guys have any questions or any charts you want me to look at or just really anything, or you just want to go over something from the YouTube or the Discord or the stream, whatever, feel free to share. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something, but feel free to drop any questions or updates or anything while I'm walking away. But I'll be right back in about 2-3 minutes.
Looks like it's time for my nap until 11 a.m. See y'all on the flip side. See you later. I actually meant to ask y'all something, but I should have asked it earlier. I needed people to actually participate in answering to make it work. But I was curious on if I should be doing like an end of day stream. But the only thing, and this is my condition, is if I did it, I don't really want to be sitting here talking about a bunch of shit. I would love to just like chart and go through my scanners and form my watch list and post my stuff if I see it. But I was curious to see if anybody would even care about watching something like that, where I'm not really as interactive with you as much. Because I know in here I'm like 100% locked in, answering every little thing posted in here. But if I was to do a stream like that, I don't know if I'd be able to be locked in and be interactive and all that. I would have to be focused on my chart and actually going over things. With scalping, it's different. With scalping, I play this like trick on my mind where I find my setup, I enter it, I try to talk about a couple things to waste time while managing the setup, and then I'm either taking profit or cutting losses in that amount of time. You know, it's like a good little trick to play. Making myself busy, basically. But not ignoring what's in front of me. But I think it'd be cool if I did some of those streams, because I know some people in chat are just in there for the swings. Some people are just in there because they like the streams. Some people are in there because they like just to have a community. But that is probably one of my favorite parts of the day, honestly, is the last 2 hours of the day and looking through the scanners the 2 scanners I have, not just finding setups that can be scalped the next day in the first part of the day, the IB scan, but also going through that EMA scan to try to see if we can find any short-term swings that everybody likes. So, and you'll see how I find like the liquid charts too. I'm not looking, I never look at a chart where you're going to have a hard time getting out of it, because I'm not going to post something that's not on the S&P or NASDAQ or isn't liquid, like stuff like that. But I am curious, would anybody be interested in seeing those kinds of streams where I'm not going to be interactive and I am just kind of going through my routine? And I guess I could show the swings I'm posting. I don't really know if I should do that or not. Not on a public stream, at least. But because the plays are for members, people who are actually here. So I'll be posting those in Discord as usual and stuff, but I was curious to see if anybody wanted to see those kinds of streams. But I just wanted to be clear, too. Like, I'm not going to be sitting here answering every little thing or reading anything, really. I'm just going to be focused on posting. And maybe towards the end I'll be talking, you know. But in the moment, I definitely won't be. Hell yeah, just lock in on the charts. That would be great. We could learn from watching. I'm in. Okay. Well, we can definitely do that. I haven't done it in the past because I know in these streams specifically, I've been doing these for years. I've had over 1,000 people in this stream live multiple weeks in a row. I've had less than 20 people in here for weeks in a row. You know, I've really felt both sides of my range here. And it doesn't matter what number of people you have in these streams. As soon as I stop talking, people leave. And it's not like it's my job to keep people in here, but it definitely is nice. But I do notice that, so that's why I had to make that clear. Like, I feel like when I do that, it kind of like throws some people off. They're like, why isn't he saying anything, or is he even here? You know, so. But I would be happy to do those streams because it is a lot of fun. Here, I'll just go through my channel real quick. It is fun going through here because I kind of have a routine to how I do things in my channel specifically. Every night, or I should say this, on a regular week when I'm not like sitting here, you know, trying to like take care of my dog and shit, like when I'm not focused. But when I am here every moment, every night or every day after the market closes, you'll see me post new levels for the next day for SPY. And maybe they're the same levels, nothing changed. Maybe I added one level, maybe I deleted one level. You'll see me note that. And it really depends on if it was like a short-term level or whatever the hell. But you'll see me just basically post updated levels every day. And then sometimes before the market's closed, I'll post swings. But it just kind of comes down to if I see a setup I truly have confidence in. And you'll see, sometimes I post a ticker like TTD, or sometimes I post a ticker like, well, there's TTD. USB, like I bet none of you traded USB before I even brought that up. You know, that's a very liquid ticker that can be traded. Trying to find another good example here. NEE, I mean, I'm sure some of you have traded that. UNH, y'all probably traded that. Sometimes we talk about long-term picks, you know, oh, FIG, like, oh, we see that. You know, it's just, this is a good channel just to kind of check in every day, in my opinion. In the morning, in the afternoon, at night, it doesn't really matter.
Detach post in here too. Forgot to shout him out. Watch list, shit like that. And very rarely, and I want to make this clear too, very rarely will you see me post a lotto, like AMD. It's very rare you're going to see me post a lotto play. The only time you're going to see me post those is when I don't really have double confirmation of anything. It's just more intuition of, oh, this is what it should do. That's what a lotto from me will be. You're not going to see me post earnings lottos. You're not going to see me post some play that everyone's focused on. And, like, I'm not going to repost a trade from Trade Floor and then call it a lotto. That would just be kind of weird. Because there are a lot of trades that get posted by you guys in there. But, yeah. And then in the next morning, too, sometimes right in the morning, like you can see right here, good example, actually just scroll to, you'll see me kind of reaffirm, like, okay, even though I just literally posted the same chart that I had the night before where I went over everything, sometimes all of this, all of my preparation the night before gets thrown into the fucking trash because we've moved up a bunch or we moved down a bunch or, you know, something volatile like that. And then I have to kind of just reaffirm, like, okay, guys, this is what we're looking at. This is kind of where we see direct. And a lot of the time, you'll see me point out the area of control, the area where moves will come from, where pivot points hold or break. That's what you'll kind of see me really confirm every single second I post, just because it is kind of important to know, okay, what's the most important area I have every day? And there is a way to find this yourself. I'm not going to sit here and act like you have to rely on me to find it. We go over it in every stream. But you should definitely pay attention to that if you don't know where it is. Because sometimes it's hard to remember, like, oh, yeah, we're bullish. Because sometimes we get pullback. Sometimes, you know, like the past, I bet towards the end of the week last week, some of you even, I'm not calling you guys out, but some of you probably thought we were going to keep pulling back. And that could have happened. I'm not going to say it couldn't. But it was definitely more higher probability and just kind of in the theory that it should bounce and hold, just because we didn't really break anything significant on the daily. You know, no candlesticks were really ruining anything there. And that kind of ties into this next point too. In the channel, you guys really need to download the, where the hell is it? Is it in Trade Floor? It's probably in Trade Floor. Wait, what am I clicking on? Oh, okay, that is Trade Floor. Here it is. The Candlestick Handbook by Leland. And just download it. Have it. It's literally a megabyte, so have it. It's free. Anybody who joins the chat can download this. It's not like some paywall thing. Like, no, this is free. And when you download it, hold up, trying to pull it up. Okay, McAfee, yep. Glad to hear it's a safe file. Thanks for telling me that. Good info. And it'll bring you to this. And another cool thing about this, when you're on your computer at least, I think you could do this on your phone too. Like let's say I'm like, fuck this, I already know all these. Let me go straight to dark cloud cover. I can click that and it'll jump straight to it. So it's kind of cool. Little handy. But yeah, so definitely check this out. It's free for you guys to have. But it also shows you, like, what are these candlesticks? What do they mean? And a lot of, like this one, like it's a sandwich candle. You know, you should be looking for the next candle for either continuation or for a reversal. Like, this isn't a signal. It's telling you that something is coming. You know, you could, and I like this picture a lot too, because he shows that. Look, next day gap down. Okay, well, you should be looking for control into previous day low then. We have a sandwich candle telling you to focus on the next thing tomorrow. Same thing right here. Another sandwich candle. But we got a gap up. Okay, well, now we just need to hold on to previous day high and work towards whatever other notable levels we have, whether they're historical or from recent halfway points, it doesn't matter. But either way, you're going to have a good plan there. You know, like even just something like that. It's just super basic, but it's actually the most impactful thing. And you guys can just go through this. As you can see, there's a lot. And if you're lazy, like me, you can also just go to my video and just listen to me ramble about them for about almost an hour. And that's also free on the YouTube. But yeah, go through that stuff. You guys can have that. We also go through a couple of the different things. Well, I'm not going to say us. I'm going to say Leland. Leland goes through the outside bar and inside bar to a very micromanaged amount. So you actually kind of know what to do. You can see a lot of these pages are literally just the outside bar, because that's how much you can do with it. There's a lot you can do with the outside bar. There's a lot you can do with the inside bar. So that's why we like to focus on those two. I'd also like to point out that a lot of groups that focus on promoting the IB or OB, they make it their only strat, which is something you should not do. They're very awesome and they're very high probability, but they don't pop up all the time. So you do need to have the other part of our strategy with you, the theoretical stuff, the context reading, all that good stuff, to have under your belt. I would definitely say anybody focusing on just one candlestick pattern is definitely missing out on the bigger picture. For scalping or for swinging, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Also, huge shout out to the Japanese rice traders. I always like to say this because I really cannot stand the ego that some people have on the internet these days. You'll see me destroy ego all day long in here, but nobody invented these. It was not me. It was not some random idiot you found on Twitter. Nobody made these up and said, yep, this is my strategy. I invented it. All of you have to listen to me now. I'm the only source that made this up. No. Japanese rice traders put this together a long time ago. But I always like to give them credit because it's genuinely insane how many people will just tell you straight up, yeah, IBs, dude, I made those up. I made that up. That's mine. Whoops, I'm showing something I'm not supposed to be. Sorry about that. That's why I don't show my Discord on the stream too much, because I'd be clicking on too much shit. Well, now you saw the Lifetime channel, but Username's doing a good job in there, though, and I'm really proud of him. I'm trying to post some more in there, too, but we've been posting so much everywhere. I don't really have one set place to post. I just kind of post everywhere, as I'm sure all of you have already noticed. Oh, sorry for all the talking. I just had to make all that clear. Plus, it's kind of fun to remind everybody to go through the candlestick stuff. I tend to forget about some of the free tools we have just because they're literally pinned and they've been there for years. You know, it's not like if I'm coming out with new content every week, y'all need to question that. Like, y'all need to question that. You need to red flag that. There's only so many things I can cover. Price action, context. You know, it's not like I can invent anything. We can go over the importance of things and talk about priorities. You know, where should we place the highest priority? Today's open, halfway point, stuff like that. Stopping by on lunch break. B, mind checking hymns for me. Oh, yeah, my bad, Mikey. I'm over here just talking and talking and talking. You're trying to get your food and go. Let's see here. Honestly, I've been bullish hymns. I think someone brought this up to me a couple weeks ago, and I was just saying I really like how they kind of held the base and then worked this higher low trend. But did I have this on another chart? No? Okay, well, I should have drawn this. There's this gap down here. I would be focused on it holding or maintaining over that. Whoops, come on. I'd focus on that gap down halfway point, and then you can start working towards that high. But I mean, just if you were looking at just this part of the chart, any one of us would be like, damn, that's bullish as hell, you know? But you got to pay attention, where is it working into? So yes, it is bullish. It is building on, honestly, amazing basing here. Really good higher lows. So it has liquidity. It has the energy to work towards that higher target. But that's what I would focus on. That 50% right there. If it does pull back, does it hold the bottom? If it does keep going, does it hit the top? Simple thinking there. Good find, though. HIMS is very strong, at least right now. And I know this is a pretty popular ticker now. I think you can go to Webull and see it's been trending for a while now. Like it's a lot of people like watching this. It's very liquid, so that's good. Good price action to the upside. Yeah, I think we're on the same page there. How do I join? I can just send you the Discord link, and you can go to the upgrade channel on your own. But I always like to tell people who are new here. I don't know if you've been in my streams or not. This is your first stream or your 100th stream. But you don't need to sign up instantly. Like, if you're going to, cool. But I'd rather you just go through a lot of the stuff first, and then you could do whatever the hell you want. Or just stay here and have a place to talk. It's really not... I'm not really trying to, like, do that. Maximum number of uses. None. Copy. I'll send you a link, though. CS or SUS. However the hell you say that. But there you go. Welcome, and make sure you check out the pinned messages like I was just going over, so you can take that PDF or whatever you want for yourself. And it's honestly just cool to have that guide because it kind of reminds you, okay, what's bullish, what's not. And it also in a detailed fashion breaks down kind of the conditional formatting of every pattern. You know, this is where we're bullish from, and this is where we'd be bullish towards, or this is where we'd be bearish towards, or blah, blah, blah. You know, not just what is each candle, but what to do with each of that, with each piece of those information, once it's bullish or once it's bearish. Yeah, check that out. And thanks, guys, for over 30 likes. I genuinely am just happy that we hit 20. So, over 30, genuinely thank you. Kind of a dub. Not a bad stream. I know the price action wasn't the greatest, and I only really got one real call out on this. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I called out this specific contract or that, but I was very clear on us going down after getting a close here. We talked about it 3, 4, 5 times before it happened, just because we were kind of talking about if the setup fails, you know, because it is bullish. It's very obviously bullish, but it's having a problem getting over the meat of this last high. Once we saw that, it's like, okay, if we break this, we gotta pull back to at least today's low. At that point, this was that day's low, or the 50% of this gap up. Those were like the only two logical targets we could make up in our heads if this failed to hold this. And the only thinking behind this is just that old saying of if a bullish setup fails, it's bearish. If a bearish setup fails, it's bullish, because it creates liquidation. It creates the energy for that other direction to go that way, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that was the thinking behind really the only real call out in here that I'm going to even be on to start to take credit for. A lot of other people were already posting that too, so good for you guys in the stream. And yeah, I'll see if we get some swings later on in the day. But here, I'm at the end of the stream. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. I kind of kept ranting even though I wasn't supposed to. But if you guys have anything, let me know, and then we'll end the stream. And I did send a Discord link in the stream for anybody who is not already in there. Click it, join it, engage. I highly recommend just interacting, not clicking a bunch of shit. I would definitely interact with the different people in the group, or any updates you might see, or even share your own if you happen to be watching something in specific. A lot of people in my chat watch S&P stocks, NASDAQ stocks, so if you have anything outside of that, they probably don't give a shit. I mean, like emerging markets too. There's always, of course, going to be that stock that's not in NASDAQ or something that might be something interesting to be looking at, but that's very specific and special. It's not like we're going to be constantly posting those kinds of things. I'm going to go back to TTD over here so I can bask in my missed out glory. But if we don't have anything, I think I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm gonna go post a poll in the chat. I think I'll do it in the levels channel or trade floor. I really have no idea. And go in there and click on it, and we'll see if we do one of those. I guess we'll call them like a silent stream or something. But I won't be silent. I'm sure I'll still reply here and there. But I will definitely be way more focused on what's in front of me than I am in these. But let me know. I'll go post that now after in the stream. Let me know what y'all's opinions are. I think a few of you have already stated you do want it, though. So looks like we'll try to do it either way. But yeah, I'll let you guys know, and I'll end the stream. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. If you guys have any updates to share, any reviews to share, please drop in them in the right channels. And I'll see you guys later on. Have a great day. Thank you, Carter. See you, dude.